Live. No, it says go live. We already are live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hold on.
You could probably back up a hair.
I can back up my hair. Is that like a rabbit? Okay. Have my phone. It's been silenced. I want to get it away from the Gorilla Glue, or if it's
Oh,
Spanish, Garilla. Gorilla Glue and arrows. Landon.
good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It is not Tuesday. It is Monday. I'm glad you made it. We're doing a shop stream. We have stuff to talk, shop talk between he and I, and project stuff to work on, and his regular shorts and content development stuff. So we're gonna do whatever time allows here. We figured we might as well be live. We're in the garage. You guys are easy. You don't require a lot of maintenance, so we're gonna try and get some work done, and hopefully you can stick around. And if not, just come on Tuesday. We're more attentive on Tuesday, but
My San Pellegrino.
oh,
Not a sponsor. It's just fizzy water.
I'm drinking red Powerade over ice in a mixer. It's good.
So I was telling Kim right when I
Hey,
walked in,
Bruce.
I said, I got to tell you something, but it's 10 o'clock. We're going live. I'll tell you after we start. She's washing her sheets in the washing machine. I put them in the dryer, so you'll have dry sheets tonight.
Nice.
That's one thing. What else? I don't know.
When's the last time you washed your sheets? It's been too long for
Oh,
me. We're
don't
not
you?
gonna say how long because it's
It's
too
like
long.
you gotta wash these. So, so
Just
they're in the
freshen things up a little
so
bit.
they're in the dryer, so you won't have to lay down on wet sheets.
Thank you.
Sirens outside.
Landon Custom Classics spent all day changing brakes on his dad's trucks. Good job.
What kind of truck?
Yeah, and did you finish? Were you able to get it going and working properly? Was it just pads, or did you have to do rotors or calipers or any of that stuff? Tell us all about
Like that. That's better. I was working on Surrett's a lot. The Rit Dads as well. Oh,
it. We were here just beating the heat. You can't work in the garage during the day. The air conditioner can't keep up. It's too big of a building.
I walked in here and you know it felt cool in here. You must have had that on for a while.
It's been 2 hours.
90 F250. Had to put on new shoes and wheel cylinders. Oh, yeah, and you're up north, there's probably plenty of rust.
Were they leaking? Oh, a 90. Yeah, they were bad. I
90
get it.
seems new to me until I think about it's over 30 years
It's the
old.
same age as this truck almost.
Oh yeah, this is a 88. But this is a Tennessee truck. It's more greasy than rusty.
It's more rusty on the roof than down low, that's how you know.
Well, that's how you know it's been even further south than this, because the sun's been burning the roof and
And it's black.
burns
It's
the
black.
paint, turns the paint on the roof, and then you start getting surface rust. But that's how it is in Arizona. Everything's got surface rust on it. That's just sands off with Scotch-Brite.
We're finding it's a pretty good truck. It's endearing itself to me.
Mexican Spec, how you doing?
It's
Oh,
been parked over by the pool of shame with the Bronco 2 for a while, longer than the Bronco 2. And I just thought I was going to pull some parts off of it, but then I put a carburetor and distributor in it and it ran like popped right off.
it's a monster. Spent 15 minutes aside pounding on drums with a 5 pound sledge.
I don't miss that part of being up north. Not at
See,
all.
this in Arizona thing, you climb underneath and you adjust you hold the self adjuster in with a screwdriver and you adjust the back a couple of notches and off they come. And when I lived in Ohio, I learned about that. Everything is just rusted into like they welded it together with rust. Man. Yeah, Mexican Spec was on here early. We confused him. Is it Tuesday already?
I mean, we've been doing a lot of streams from the shop. Um, I don't know. There's people that do content every day. This is our content right now. This is the easiest thing for us to put together on the fly, and we're trying to work on other better kind of content. But
Well, we're in the shop anyway. This isn't a bad thing.
yeah,
And I think
we get to connect with people.
I think it's not bad content. I don't know if it'd be good for future.
Yeah, I don't think people will be. It's very topical. I don't think people are going to be good looking back months and where the back.
Mexican spec. Is this Gorilla Glue? Spanish?
Hey, Dr. Go.
Dr. Go, how you doing? Dr. Go come in here earlier? I don't know. I just saw something from Dr. Go on something, maybe a comment on one of the videos we
First I
did.
noticed.
Hey, I put up a poll. I don't know if a few people have found it, but I tried to link it. I tried to put a link in the short that I did, but it won't highlight the link, so you got to copy and paste it, which is terrible. And I don't know if many people are finding that poll. It's just some pictures of different kinds of Allen wrenches and what kind you prefer. So if anybody wants to do that, I was not confused, just wondering why you're talking to us instead of recording videos for your channel. Oh, you know what? The day before I put up two shorts, then I put up a short today, and we put up two polls. Yeah, I should do some long videos. It's just this is kind of nice, and we archive them. Hey, Tavo, how you doing? Is it lunch? Is it lunchtime there already? Uh,
Yeah,
doing good.
it's 10
Thanks.
o'clock already.
Recovered from the. Yeah, but that's only like 10:30 his time. Uh, I think I don't know. I get so confused on the time zones.
On Tuesday, he always stops in around that
Stops in
time.
about 10. Okay. Okay, so it is. It's 12:30 then maybe. Recovered from the Lola car show, walking 2 days. Yeah, you don't think that'll wear you out, but with the sun on you and probably not getting enough to drink, you know,
It's a lot of walking. That would kick my butt.
Sacramento Gorilla.
I rode the electric cart at the Walmart yesterday or the day before because I just wasn't up to walking all that way.
Sometimes Kim will walk through Walmart, she's fine. And one day she was walking through there and she's saying to me, I've had it, I can't go much further, can't go much further. And she sat on the floor and couldn't get up. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. People came by and asked her if she was okay. And then eventually I helped her up and we got out to the car. So she had a day she was kind of feeling like that. I said, just take the electric cart. And
Nobody else was using them. There was
and,
5 of them there. I
and
said, I'll ride the cart.
So she asked the guy there at the door, and he said, "Oh, of course, take it." She goes, "Well, I don't want to take it when somebody that's really like in a wheelchair or something has to have it." He goes, teenagers come in here and race them all around the store, and he goes, "We're not allowed to stop them." So, go ahead, take it. So she didn't feel too bad about it. We got back, nobody else was using one. So
You guys always see me. I'm always up and moving around, flying around, doing stuff. But this is the time of day that I use all my energy. But the rest, there's a lot of days where I'm just not very strong and I just don't have any energy. And neurological and spinal problems kick my butt some days. So we had to go to the store. We got lots of good food. We spent $225 at a Walmart.
$25, but it wasn't all food.
I know you
You
didn't bring the
bought.
car up, did you?
I did bring the car up,
Oh, good.
and I popped the trunk, so it's if you go out there, you don't need keys, or if I go out there, it's already open. Uh,
4,000 swaps, like
93
boots.
degrees and high humidity. 93 degrees isn't too bad. You add high humidity, it gets bad. So I did good and drank all day, but I was tired after 2 days. Yeah, when I'm in that kind of weather or hotter, I, I drink all day, drinking water or fizzy water or something, and I'm still dehydrated at the end of the day. Uh, yeah, it knocks the crap out of you. Yeah, what else did we buy? Okay, so $225, but there were 3 gallons of some kind of stuff for cars,
Yeah,
like motor oil and things. And you bought a filter, and wasn't there some other car stuff? I don't know. Oh, we
Yeah.
bought laundry detergent,
Yeah.
and we bought dishwasher
Lots of paper
detergent,
towels,
lots of paper towel, stuff that wasn't food. So yeah, a bunch of that was
supplies.
supplies. Yeah, but we still spent a lot on food. So cupboards were getting kind of bare. Refrigerator was getting empty.
Tonight, he's got to figure out what he's doing for his next short. and if he's making a poll for it, because we're watching this how to do a YouTube, and it says, use your community posts, use them regularly, and regular meaning like daily. And so, like, we're trying to learn how to do that on a regular basis. And then I've been working on this Dakota. I thought this Dakota was I was just gonna pull parts, but then it just decided to pop off and run.
And then when I was putting this live up, putting a thumbnail together, Kim took off and went into town and went to the auto parts store and bought something. Oh, you
Oh,
bought a belt or something.
yeah. So the belt that was in the bed of the truck was not the belt. I just assumed it was the belt for the truck, but it was not. So this is the belt for the alternator, but the water pump also rides on this. And I want to get this to where we can make it run, see if it'll pump up the lifters because it clatters real bad. Does anybody know? This is a good question. You guys are smart. This sat for like years and it has all kind of top end clatter. It's overhead valves, so we figure the lifters are collapsed.
Over, overhead cam.
Overhead cam.
Yes.
Sorry, yes. So we figure the lifters are
Oh,
collapsed.
6 pounds. Yeah,
Oh, that's a
that's
lot of.
dehydrated. Okay, so I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I saw you carrying those rims with the pool noodles. That's rough.
Pool noodles. That's
Wow.
padding for the roll cage.
Um, but yeah, is it safe to run this up to temperature to see if the lifters will come up, or will we damage the cam or and rockers or anything like that? Has anybody ever dealt with that?
I'm telling her we should take the lifters out, pull the cam, take the lifters out, and take them apart and clean them all up, put them together. And she thinks they'll just pump up, and she might be right.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think they will. I don't
Well,
know if
that's
they will or not. I'm
yeah, it
like,
might
well,
just sit there and beat the crap out of itself, and I don't know if that's good for it.
they're quiet. They don't know. They don't
Nobody's saying, or they're typing a paragraph out. I'm just gonna have nearly 8 people watching. I'm hearing you got 8.5 because you're a half a Kiwi. It's a 50-50 shot. Yeah, that was my thought.
I mean, but are we going to damage it?
Oh, and while I'm here live, I'm going to say, Barrows, thank you for all the pictures of the rat rods, and we used one of them tonight.
Are they not called lifters? I think they are still called lifters. They're
Yeah,
hydraulic
okay, Mexican spec.
lash.
The way this works is there's an overhead cam. Underneath the overhead cam, there's a rocker, and the lifter is the fulcrum. So the cam pushes the rocker down like this, and the fulcrum is on the lifter. So once that lifter pumps up, that's what adjusts the valve. So I had to go in and look at one to see exactly how that was. Collapse lifters won't hurt much, just won't open the valves all the way. Something like just flew under my glasses. That wasn't fun.
Cabo, it clatters so bad. It's
Okay,
scary.
he says they're not lifters, they're followers. Well, except they're not really follower. They're the fulcrum. The rocker arm. One end of the rocker arm is on what I would call a lifter, and the other end of the rocker arm is on the valve, and there's a cam partway between. So the cam is pushing not it's not the fulcrum's not in the middle. The fulcrum's on God, I'm so shaky. The fulcrum's on the end, so it's uh just
Yeah, it
insert.
can't hurt the push rods since there aren't
There
any.
aren't any push rods yet. The cam and head opals do. Most BMEs have followers and lifters, but it depends. Yeah, okay. Well, we looked at I looked at a online disassembly view of it. As a drawing, but it's pretty good, and it had all the I could see how it works. So I'm telling Kim, let's just pull the cam cover out, pull the cam out. She goes, then I got to disturb the timing belt, and I'm going, oh yeah, So there's reasons to try it both ways. Overhead, Dean says overhead cams suck. I don't know. Uh, on top of the valve stem, top of the valve stem. Okay, let's see. Let me go back here a little bit. The cam and head ovals do most. I'm. It won't spit a push rod. That's right. I've got to scroll back because I'm missing stuff here. For cams, like buffing cam, overhead cams have followers. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're actually called followers. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see here. Each has its own right to exist. So the cam doesn't make contact directly. Yeah. No, the cam makes contact to, I was going to say the center of the rocker arm, but it's actually offset of
It's
the
not really
rocker
a
arm.
rocker arm, it's a follower.
So the rocker arm's actually, well, that's the follower. So because of its ratio where it hits, the valve opens further than the cam will dimension. So, but the other end's resting on a thing I'd call the lifter, which is the fulcrum, which is at the far end of the follower.
Well, this isn't the right one.
It's not that you got the wrong one. They gave you the wrong.
It's the one they sold me, but
It's wrong. So now you got to go back to the parts store tomorrow. Boo.
I mean, I could
Got
just
the wrong one.
I could run the water pump with a
Surprise, surprise. With a what?
I don't know,
I could stand there and spin it or something.
rubber band.
Yeah,
We could use a
that'll last about 3 RPM.
we could use a drill.
Dean says he's biased. Uh,
Right, the cam doesn't hit the end of the valve. It follows the thing. I mean, we can take it off. I mean, you guys all seem to be unsure. Maybe I should open it up just so I can show you, just so you could see.
you want to pull, and then when you go back to the store, you can get a cam cover gasket
Valve
for you.
cover gasket. Yeah.
So you're gonna think about that. So I have no knowledge to offer. Dr. Ghost says no knowledge to offer, so I am learning too. Well, welcome to be here and learn. Dean he says he's biased. Lennon says Dean uses bias ply TP. Bias ply. Does toilet paper have cord in it?
Yeah.
Is there radio and bias ply toilet paper?
Cordage.
What kind of cord is in the toilet paper? And is that septic tank safe? Oh my God, that could cause some tangles.
I mean, there's not a lot to it.
Yeah, it's not like these new cars where it takes you half an hour to find a cam cover. I watch some of these guys on YouTube working on late model stuff, and it takes them an hour to get to the cam cover, and it's back halfway under the firewall, and they struggle with it. It's like, man, they're pulling a valve cover like on a Ford 6-cylinder, and it's like, get the air cleaner out of the way with a wing nut and pull about 8 bolts out, and off it comes. Textile, textile polymer for my tire hike. This is from Dean.
The other good thing is it's holding its water.
It's holding its water.
It is. I put water in it. It hasn't gone down at all.
Hasn't had to pee yet.
It has.
You know how many vehicles we've had? We put new water in and it just pees right out somewhere.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
like, whoops.
It's.
Hey, the water's falling out.
It wants to live. That's all I can say. It's just. It's like everything is okay now. Somebody treated it badly, and it's not.
Oh, that almost fell. You caught it.
That's good. That means my reactions are not.
Her reactions are good.
Well, I don't know about good, but they're not as bad as they are.
My reactions are good, just sometimes you miss. Because my right hand's usually really steady. My left hand's usually a little shaky. Some days both hands don't shake. It's so good days. And then some days my left hand is like, it's like terrible. Today's a little bit like that. Okay. Tavos, if it's like Mitsubishi, the cam runs against rock arms. And the other end of the rock arms are the hydraulic lifters, which contact the top of the valve stem. No, the hydraulic lifters on this are on the fulcrum end, on the very end. Here you got a rock arm. Really, we have a roll of paper towels, but here we have a rock arm. The cam is right here. The lifter. See, I'm shaking. That's really sucks.
I think I think they've made
Okay,
the choice for us. We have to show.
lifter is here, and it's stationary. It's on a thing. The cam rotates here, and the valve's over here, so it does this. But over here on this end is where the lifter is, the thing I call lifter that pumps up. So it's the lifter's on the full command. I think it depends. The Yamaha SHO was direct, the same bore spacing and transfer line, 60 degrees Duratec V6 that it replaced. Man, I know a woman that bought a uh, a show right back in the beginning when they first came out, and hers had the Yamaha V8 in it. Man, that was a fast car. Well, at the time it seemed fast. It was a Ford Taurus. She's the one that gave me my. She's the one that had the Dodge Dart uh, that gave it to me because I helped her. She was single mom, 3 kids. She was going to school. She was working, and I helped her keep that Dart running. And when she got her engineering job, she bought a new Nissan, like a 280ZX, and she gave me the Dart, which is pretty cool. A couple of years later, she bought a Taurus show. So she did well getting her education, becoming an engineer. Uh, I must have had a critter in the garbage because when I was putting away my tools, I saw a huge puddle of antifreeze under my old car. I haven't even started this year, and now I have to work. Okay, the cam is Tavo. The cam pushes down on the arm. Lifter should be at the valve end. I don't think it is. It
No,
may be. I think the lifter is the fulcrum.
I could be wrong.
But I could be wrong. We don't have it apart yet. I mean, that's what the diagram looked like to me, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few days ago, we had some garbage that wasn't smelling good, and I put it outside, and I didn't want the critters to get on it, so I put it on top of a stack of plastic crates. And it came out in the morning, and they'd gotten into it, and garbage all over, stinky garbage. So I had to go out there with another garbage bag and collect it, wash my hands, and then take it to the garbage, take it to the convenience center. I don't like it when critters get in the garbage. Really dislike that. Well, you know what? Maybe when she gets that cover off, maybe we can stretch this camera over far enough with this cord that we can, then everybody can look at it. The Show V6 Yamaha, great engine, and in 3 and 3.2 liter. Then Ford asked Yamaha to make a V8, and that had interference camos on 4 steel tubes. That really messed up Yamaha's reliability, really. Well, she had the V8 version. I thought the V8 came first, but maybe not. I really don't know. So that was quite a car. And then I've kind of lost track of her. She is quite a bit older than me. So I don't know. She moved away, engineering job, chasing work, and God, those kids are all little. They're probably like in their 50s now. Jeez.
All right, I'm gonna record, so you gotta.
Okay, so you're doing a video.
Yeah, but I'll only be a moment. But just
Okay.
let me do my thing. Okay, we've got the Dakota. Did start and run for how about I don't know, 30 seconds or so, maybe a little longer. The carburetor seems okay. Distributor seems okay, but it makes a lot of clatter, and they think it's collapsed lifters at the top end. Talk to some people, and this is sort of a mystery to people. This whole overhead cam lifters sort of setup. So it's easy to get to right now. It's only about 8 volts, so we're just going to pull this valve cover off and see what it looks like. We might even start it. See what this setup looks like underneath in like real life. It's like mystically unknown. So I'll get on that. Okay, easy.
Okay. Hello, Alan Drab. The reason I waved instead of saying something is Kim's over there recording a video. So we're recording a video during a video. Okay, let's see it. Backstage pass for the event. Yep, that's right. The lobes would slip with disastrous results. They used glue to hold them for, I'm not sure what that word is. To, oh, for, I don't know, to authorize rewelding the lobes. Oh, Jesus. Gary, how you doing? Good evening. Good evening from Tennessee. Okay, so we started off with just a few people in here, and I kind of we kind of explained what we were doing. We're just in the shop tonight. Tomorrow night will be our regular Tuesday night live in the studio. But tonight, Kim's working on Dakota that she got running last night, and it's really clattery, and we think it's valve train noise. So she's in the process of pulling a cam cover off and gonna look at all that. And we pause occasionally. I'll just shut up while she records video while she's doing that. She'll do that in segments and then probably patch it all together later, make a complete video out of it.
Yeah, 'cause nobody wants me watching me turn bolts.
Yeah, because hold the camera in one hand, turn bolts in the other hand, really boring to watch. You know?
We don't think ain't nobody got time for that.
So Gary Dean Stevenson saying hello, and Dean's in New Zealand, so he's like halfway around the world from us. So it's good to hear from him. He's almost always here. So Kim, can you narrate what you're doing, or you got to concentrate on your?
I mean, no, I could narrate. You can bring the camera over and show me. Come on.
That was cool. Oh, Barrows is from Idaho too, aren't you? That was cool and helpful watching Kim do a video. So calm, cool, and collected. Sometimes I believe I overthink my videos. See ones are just say easier ones are the ones I just say what I see. Yeah, the Gene Stevenson says K car 2.5 cam noise, like the Pinto and Lyman four-cylinder lifters. I know this was pretty severe.
No,
This sounded like eight hammers beating away on a camshaft. It was pretty bad. The afternoon here, after I loaded line haul truck, the 12-hour of work, yeah. So I'm gonna try to untangle this cord
okay, what we want to do.
because it's all wound up and stuff.
No, it's not too bad. But what we want to do is we want to move the. You got to make a space on this so
Okay.
I can move.
Your brother has a K. Gary's your brother still have that K car? I remember he got that. It was in '81. It was the first year. It was probably the first one I ever saw up close. And he bought that. We were in San Luis Obispo then. Okay, how do I? This is like really.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm moving the camera on, but I'm trying to untangle the cord. So we have cord entanglement. Okay, how do I get this? Can I undo this? Oh, phone almost fell. I got to get this phone out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just carry this whole shoot match over there.
Yeah.
I guess I can't see what's going on. I have no idea. This is pointed all crazy all over the place. I'm sorry, people.
Just be careful not to step on.
Yeah, don't step on anything. And we got cords all over the
It'll
place.
be fine. You don't need to worry about the cords. It's fine.
This is what we have. A formerly injected engine. The pin made an adapter with a carburetor on it. And then down there somewhere, you can see, she took a.
Can you see what?
Yeah, I can see what's going on. Sorry. Can't see the distributor, but that's okay. I can explain.
Oh, the distributor's down there.
Yeah, if you weren't here, it was all electronic ignition. She bought a Volkswagen, a brand new Chinesian Volkswagen distributor, and adapted it to this K car engine. What are you doing? Oh, so I don't have to hold that thing. Okay. And she adapted that Volkswagen distributor. We made some pieces of parts.
Here, you need to go ahead and lean the light towards me. It'll come free.
And she adapted that distributor to it. It has points, like an old 60s car. So, can you see the distributor down in there?
I can't.
You can't see it. It's in this. You gotta believe me, it's down in there. I saw it.
It's way in there, but
It's down where it's dark.
we
So-
made an adapter.
So, oh no, I can't stay here. Shoot it.
Sorry, everybody.
Was this? Got this wedge so they stay put, and I got it screwed. So anyway,
Sorry,
here.
everybody.
I gotta set this down. I can't make it do.
Okay.
So to get back to my story here,
Oh,
she
stories, Dean.
she put a carburetor where there was an injector, where there's a throttle body injector, which an adapter she made. Meet this extruder, cut it, did whatever she needed to do, press the new follower thing on there, and put it in there. So, and then she put some fuel in the carburetor, and it started on the first try and ran. It was amazing. And then, oh, now you got me standing here on Fat Billy. So, and then
Crazy place.
she, well, after it was running, it was really clack, 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 really bad. And I said, I don't think there's any oil pressure. But she was inside. She goes, oh, it has oil pressure.
Pressure came up on the gauge.
So, okay, it's got oil pressure, but it it really is nasty, loud sounding valve train noise. So instead of pointing that at my fat stomach, can we just point it at what you're doing?
I don't know. I'm so sorry, everyone.
She's got this all screwed up.
It's a mess.
I'll be the camera person.
Camera individual. Oh, I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna get real here in a second.
Okay, get it all set up. Are you going to get power tools?
Yeah.
So now, I don't know if anybody cares about this.
I don't think they do.
We got pictures of an engine and me talking. This is crazy. But you know what? You do all this work all the time and nobody sees it. They just hear me narrating. Okay, I got to get back to the chat. I got to walk over to the chat. Or the aviation.
Here,
Number
step to the
stickers.
side and I'll give you your camera back.
Oh, I had it all set up and now you're bringing it back.
Well, now I can move. Breathe.
Jeez. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Get away from the camera.
Trying to
You're making a mess.
just make a noise.
That's terrible.
It's perfect. I can see
No,
it.
it's not. I can't see the screen. You put it right in front of the screen. You
Oh.
always put it in front of the screen.
Well, that's why what makes you look
can't
at it.
see the screen. See, and now I can't see where the camera's pointed because that thing's over there. Why'd you move all this shit?
Oh, I thought they were going to be able to see. I was trying to be slick.
You're trying to be slick and you unslicked our whole setup.
I messed ruined everything.
Okay, as long as I can see. Okay, I can see that well enough. Oh, what happened there?
It's highlighted. Oh, spilling stuff.
Ken,
gosh,
you got really.
Okay. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. You saw a little.
What did we do here?
You're going to have to watch the long video.
I don't know. We really got this messed up. Our great setup is not so great anymore. Okay, I think I can tip this up a little. Okay, let's see here.
Get something going there yet?
Those four poppers do make a little noise. Like that guy, I'm trying to get caught up here. No problem. So, what engine does this have? Sorry if you already said. Oh no, it's a 2.5 liter.
We're at 2.2. We're not sure.
It's a 2.5 liter. Yeah, I'm sure. Man, I can't keep up with this. It's going. I gotta scroll back. It's a 2.5 liter, like a K car engine. Um,
Or like one of those turbo 2.2s put in the 80s and early 90s cars.
2 liter overhead cam, twin cam. No, it's not twin camshaft, single camshaft. Like I said, it'll be fine. Yeah, there's a guy I used to work for, and he always go, "It'll be okay. It'll be okay." We've been designing an airplane where he has like some thing that isn't quite right, and he'll always go, "It'll be okay." I go, "No, it won't. Go in and redo it." I believe that it is an interference engine. Yeah, it could be an interference
Oh
engine.
yeah.
Kim says, "Yeah." Oh, says if ever dropped the timing belt or skipped a tooth, it will cause that noise as well. Ooh, Kim, didn't somebody just put a cam belt on that? That
Unknown.
Yeah, you need to check the cam timing in case the valves crash into the pistons. It sounded about that bad. You could be well right. Well, lifters could be at the fulcrum to hold the arm up against cam. Yes, that's what it looked like to me in the diagram I looked at. That's what it looked like. Except you,
No need to worry about the
except you, Tavo, you stated it much better than I. Uh, it was raised. Both the Chrysler K car and Plymouth Cricket and Kent overhead valve Pinto Fiesta 1600 share the same bore spacing and some details. Oh, that's sort of interesting. What happened to my drink? Oh, there it is. I see. Uh, I don't want to get dehydrated. I got to move this camera a little bit. It still hasn't got back to
So it stinks.
there. What stinks? Stinks. There's the cam cover.
The engine stinks.
So you're watching Kim at work. I don't know. I got that thing all over there.
Right.
Seeing straight cannot cause parallax error. Seeing straight cannot forget. Oh, I don't want this to spill. This is my Gorilla Glue. I got to put this where it won't spill. There. It's in a place where it won't spill.
All right, we got the cover off. Here she is. Cam on top, valve on this side, lifter, tiny board lifter on this. Tiny lifters on this. Let's see if they oh yeah, that's this one's super sloppy. They're roller followers. This one here is super sloppy. But most of them are up a little bit. That one's really soft. That one's up. Oh. I mean, if we destroyed it because the cam, if we destroyed the, if we damaged it because someone put the timing belt on wrong, I don't think we can make it worse.
Oh, I don't know. Dr. Go says, can you do a compression check to see if they're bent valves from the timing belt being off? Uh, look up BRM Chrysler Avenger Tiger. That must be something they have down under. I don't think we had that here, but we may have it just with a different name. On the brighter side of that, I ran one over 3 years making noise like that. I drove the $300 out of it. Still have the rear end for another project. That's Barrows says he drove one making noise like that for 3 years.
Okay.
Not that we want to duplicate that, but I mean, how hard is it to get that cam out of there? Are there like caps or does it slide out?
Caps.
There's caps. Okay, so it's easy cam to get out of the way. Just the thing is the timing marks. Well, we can get at the timing marks. Can you check the timing marks first to see if it's right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think maybe we should do that. And then we know if we've got a timing issue. Excuse me, before we take it apart.
Well, easy for you to say. You don't have to do it.
Well, I'm just saying that if you take it apart first, you never know if it was wrong. Reason the K car engine It was so good was that a lot of other development work had been done on the Trans 4 engine. Alpar doesn't discuss the way the 2.2 and 2.5 were developed. It wasn't a cut down six. Yeah, well, I've read some about the development, and I guess the 2.2 did not have the balance shafts in it, but the 2.5 does. Tim, how you doing? I was in the middle of a movie maker for the beginners video. Thought I would check you two are still out here. Yeah, we came out at 10 o'clock. We came out a few minutes before 10, but man, I got here right at 10 and we turned it on. Kim made a run into town to get a belt, which turned out
Wrong anyways.
they gave her the wrong belt. Yeah, it figures. And so they're closed and we have the wrong belt. But she's diving into the valve noise. And I got here, I was still at the house doing something. And man, I got here just on time. Covers off so it's easier. Another plus, yeah, because there's no cover on it. So you can already see the belt. That's what I'm saying. Maybe she or I could help her with it. We could check it and see if it is, see if the cam timing is correct before she takes the cam out. Yeah, this little truck isn't too bad. The worst thing getting in it, and she was pushing me around. I don't know how many of you are here when we pushed it in. We did that live, but got out old steering wheel, plastic steering wheel. It's been out in the sun too long. It's all sticky, 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 nasty steering wheel. But other than that, it seemed okay. I had to wash my hands with like super stuff to get the stickiness off. But we can clean that steering wheel off and put a couple of coats of wax on it. It won't feel like that anymore. And sitting in it, it's not bad. It's a little truck. So Tim, how do you like Movie Maker?
Bet it's better than Da Vinci.
Kim says that you think it's better than Da Vinci. You're not narrating your what you're doing over there.
Not right now.
Not right now. You took something off.
That's a turn spring.
It's a return spring.
Yeah, I just found it.
This is a return spring. It was just found in there, not connected to anything. It's like, man, what a piece of junk.
Oh, my car junk.
Tim says so far it looks pretty easy. That's good. Because the results are okay. It's still you end up with 4K video and I don't we've been running it for a while and it's yeah, it's easy. And I'm definitely a beginner on it. The only thing I know well on with computers really is CAD software and just the software that I use. And I kind of use the computer like like it's like a utility.
If you're a
Not a
seasoned video editor, you'll hate it. But if you don't really know anything, you'll take right. Pick it up. Sit. Learn the basics and then start adding features. You'll be okay.
Pharaohs, that's my catch and release option for jackrabbits. What did I miss? Gary, gotta run. Okay, good. Take care.
Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for stopping in. Chris Archer, hi from Downey, Australia. Good evening, sir. Chris, I say sir.
I'll have you know you made
I'm looking at your picture. That's why I say sir. I've worked with Chris's, many of them. Some men, some women. I need to buy that video editor that Tim mentioned in a past live. Window-based something. Yeah, that's the one that Tim's using. And Talo uses an open source one called Shotcut, quite user friendly. Yeah, what was it called? Kim, I can't remember what it's called, the editor you were
It's
using.
Windows Movie Maker Pro, and you can find it in the Windows application store.
If you heard all that.
Made by Microsoft for Windows. So it's pretty reasonable. It's pretty stable. It's not expensive. There's no monthly fees. So I don't work for Microsoft, but I mean, we've been using it for a while, and compared to some of the other software, it's way less expensive. And it gets the job to where we need to be done.
Yep, that's why we use it. Simple, it's not expensive, it gets the job done. If we were really, like if I was, like she said, professional video editor, I'd probably hate it.
Yeah, it doesn't have all the features that they like. Multiple timelines and all that stuff.
Dr. Go says he can hear you. Sorry I'm not too active. This is Mexican Spec. Sorry I'm not too active. I'm updating my RAM charger page with a few new ones. I have a new client that wants to see them. Well, good. Hell yeah. Work first, play later. Um, that's a Gary that was in here. I knew his father quite well when we were young. That's what he always used to say. Work first, play later. It's like I always remembered that. Work first, play later. Yeah, of course.
Here you go.
What? Oh, you're handing me this greasy thing?
Yeah,
What, just to show and tell?
just show them what you got.
Okay, so
Show them.
I showed it. Then I put it on the ground and it
For it.
did a wiggly.
I did it. Took it off. Like you said. Engine stinks.
Something stinks in that engine.
It smells like old fuel.
It smells like old fuel. Okay. UAP. What's UAP now? Used to be UFOs. And now is that UAPs now? I don't know. They got to keep changing names. Keep everybody off balance. Politicians do that. Keep everybody just off balance. If it's flying and it's unidentified, that just means I can't identify it. Doesn't mean it came from another planet. Just almost had to jump out car and fight. You almost had to jump out of the car and fight someone. What the hell? There's times I felt like doing that, but I've managed to stay in the car. Crank balancer from a K car engine. Oh, can you see Kim? She's crawling down underneath the thing.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, driving me crazy now. What was the V6 option for these? It was like the 318 with two cylinders lopped off. Yeah, Kim, what's the 318 with two cylinders lopped off?
That's 3.9, I think.
She thinks it was 3.9. Could have been. We were talking tonight about getting getting a dropping a V8 in this thing. But if this runs well, uh, I was telling you this would be pretty good. What you gonna get in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barrow says that sounds right, 3.9. Now, she's got some 318s and some 360s around here. We just need a bell housing. It's got a 5-speed in it.
Bell house.
Oh, she has a bell housing. So we actually could put a 318 or a 360. Well, they don't call them 318s on those. That they call them what the heck they call them? Magnums? A 5.2 Magnum or something. What the hell were they, Kim? She's not talkative anymore. She's under there thinking.
I'm trying to. Oh, yeah.
Chris Archer says America makes the best cars. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they make the same kind of cars in Mexico and Canada and Australian cars when they were still making the General Motors cars and the Fords down there. That's pretty good stuff. There's a few British cars I like. German cars I really don't like, except the old Volkswagens, really old stuff like in the 50s and 60s. But the German cars just so complicated, so expensive, and they brag and brag and brag about how good it is, and it's always so expensive to keep them running. So it's like, it's economical truck could be a great parts hauler instead of a hot rod or rat rod or something. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. We've got like four acres here, and we've got pieces and parts all over the place, and we could uh we could use this as just a parts getter.
I believe this is correct. I it's really tough to say. I mean,
Other than the Corvette, what car do they make here? Yeah, they're kind of world cars now, aren't they? Yeah, you go look at like something that's assembled here, and it's got pieces and parts from all over the place. You know, I don't even know where they make the Stellantis Dodges. I guess they still make a Chrysler. I don't know. They make a Chrysler 300 or not? Or is Dodge the only Dodge and Ram are the only things left? Jeez, I don't know. I don't even know. Dude walked out in front of my car with a flashlight, so I stopped and he started yelling at me. Yeah, what the heck? Why does somebody do that? German over-engineering for sure. From the mid 70s down, not bad. Anything newer, good luck. Yeah, well, and then there's the all the full-size Chrysler cars that came out when it's Daimler Chrysler, you know, like the 300s and the Dodge, what they call it thing, the wagon. Can't think of what they call the wagon, and the Challengers. Those were those are pretty nice cars, but you get under 'em, a lot of German engineering there. But I think they were actually a little bit easier to deal with. New cars are just made of plastic now. He was just looking for a catalyst. He got out with a flashlight, stopping cars again, and cut the catalytic converter off. Corvette is less. Corvette is less. Has less parts than a Jeep, from what they say. Really? Yeah, the Magnum. You're correct, Lano. I couldn't remember the name of that. The Magnum. I love Magnums. They only made them what, 4 years? Oh five, 6, 7. Yeah, oh five, 6, 7, and 8. The 8 was a little bit different, but I really like those cars. And they quit making them. According to a guy that I knew at Chrysler, they quit making them uh, because they needed the space on the assembly line for the Challenger, and they're coming out with a Challenger. And he goes, which would you rather have, a Challenger or a Magnum? I said, a Magnum. And he goes, what's wrong with you? And he walked away. A lot of people like that Challenger, but that Challenger, a heavy, heavy car. And my big truck, I went to Seattle a lot and brought back parts from China and took them to Detroit. Jeeps, most of the interior Chinese. Oh, really? Tesla has a lot of German parts. Maybe they do. U.S. parts. Jeez, my head itches. Something itches. Man, I got home from here. Last night we were up here for a little bit, got home and had a tick walking on me. Got the tick off, man. Where did this come from? Walked across the yard was all. At least he didn't bite me.
I think they're right about it being out of whack. I think they, I think they're right. I think it's hitting.
I don't know if you heard her. She thinks you're right. The timing's out of whack. Is it possible to get it in whack?
Oh yeah.
What is whack?
Oh, we were talking about whack earlier. Out of whack.
I was going to bring that up here.
Something's good. It's.
She says it's out of whack. I said, well, is anything in whack? Not out of whack? In whack? What is whack? The Magnum was cool. Yeah, I like the Magnum. I like the Magnum a lot.
What did I do with my phone? Do you see it?
I don't. You had it. What'd you do with it? You were doing videos with it. You moved everything around, scrambled everything
Call
up.
it.
I need to call your phone.
I mean, it's right here somewhere.
Kim lost her phone, so I gotta call it. Go back past all the spam, find your number. Got it?
The stand.
You got it?
Got it.
She found it when it started ringing.
Soon, sir.
Um, I still have nightmares over the late 80s anything. Half the bolts are SAE and the other half is metric.
Yeah,
You almost
from this here.
Yeah, you know when that started. My father told me in the late 60s. He said, the United States made a commitment to change everything to metric by 1980. They're supposed to start in 1970. Okay, so I knew that. I was 16 then. Well, they really started automotive in 1977 model year with General Motors cars. And all the bolts in a GM car starting in 77 that were metric are kind of a light blue color, and all the SAEs were black. Well, so they didn't start till 77, and they really didn't finish up until like at least 10 years. So there's all these mixed up parts, they have parts of,
I need to record.
okay, she's got me. She wants you to shut up.
Sorry, everybody. Just 1 second. All right, they told us to check the cam. Yeah, timing belt. So that this this hole right here is supposed to be straight up to the flat of the, you see it. It's lined up where it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look so good down below where it is supposed to line up. So I'm going to see if what I can do about showing you that in a way that seems reasonable, where they so this here is the crankshaft, center of the crankshaft. And this here is a counterbalance shaft, and there's a mark on here and a mark on here, and they should lie between the centers of those two shafts. I'm trying to show you where the marks are, but they should be lined up when this is straight up like that. So let's go down below. I'll see if I can show you, because I can't see, but I might be able to show you with the camera. All right, with the camera, that dot and the little mark, if you can see, they're supposed to be, nose to nose, and I don't think they're aligned properly. I'm going to actually use this image, to see if I agree with what they did in the past or not. If I don't, I'm going to loosen that tensioner, get it set correctly.
Finished?
Yeah.
Okay, she's finished recording. She's not making it short. She's making regular video. She's making it in segments, and then she'll patch it all together into a long video. Uh, who was it asked? Somebody back there has already scrolled up past whether the newer Magnum, I guess you mean the last 4 years of the Magnum, the station wagon, was Chrysler 300. It was the same body as the 300, the same body as the Charger, but it looked different, and it had a front end on it that looked very much like a Dodge. But when I was in England, same cars were running around, but they had a Chrysler 300 front clip on them. They had another name on them, but I'd always see them in traffic, but never got close enough to see what the name was. So the front clips are interchangeable from the Dodge Magnum front clip and the Chrysler 300 clip, which is kind of interesting. I think Chip Foose one time did one and put a Chrysler 300 clip on it. Uh, they made a real nice Magnum for a woman, and they changed it into look like a Chrysler 300 station wagon. Looked pretty cool. Dodge Diplomat? Nope, not a Diplomat. No, the Magnum was the late model Magnum, which is like '05 to '08, was a same body structure and everything as the Chrysler 300 and the '05 and later Dodge Chargers. And they had two different V6s, like a 2.7. I drove one when I first came out at 2.7. It's the only one they had there. And then they had the 3.5, and then they had the third generation Hemi, which of course made it into a nice car. And yeah, I like those things. I really like those things. That's a fast station wagon. Somebody did a report on that, and they went 171 miles an hour in a 5.7 liter Dodge Magnum wagon. 171. I mean, that's fast for a factory out of the factory station wagon. Geez, I like the four-door Scamp. Oh yeah, let's not start that one again. Just seen a video of Chip Foose with my car girl. Car girl. The SRT8 version was sweet. Yeah. You know, my friend Carl, and it was in Arizona, he and I went to a car show, and there was a guy there, an older guy, a lot older than me, and he had an SRT8 Magnum, and I wanted that thing, and he wanted quite a bit of money for it. It was priced a little on the high side. It only had like 11,000 miles or something on it. I didn't have enough money to just plunk it down. So I went to my credit union, tried to borrow money, and they wouldn't lend me quite enough. And it's like, if they won't lend it to me, I probably shouldn't be borrowing money. And I just I passed on it. I kind of, oh well, that would have been a fun car. This car's not O'Reilly's. Go rear ends were supposed to be Daimler. They probably were. That was the independent suspension. Very similar to the one that him and I mean, she was the brains behind it. I did some of the welding, but she narrowed one out of a Crossfire, very similar to that. And she was going to back half the Dodge Dart, but we got that Ford rear end under it. She kind of likes it, so we may use that narrowed independent suspension on something else. I don't know. What is the wheelbase of the Scamp? Oh no, we're going to start this again.
Don't do it.
Kim's going, don't talk about wheelbase. Oh man, John Wilburn let that go one night. Kim walked out of the room. Uh, okay, those A bodies, like 67 on, had 108 and 111. Just look at the cars, you can see the 3 inches difference. Oh, like the Crossfire, repurposed parts. Oh yeah, she calls it the Lost Fire because it had been on fire. The whole interior was burned up on that car. A body meeting new old stock Daimler Chrysler. Yep. What is Dean Stevenson saying? One, one, one. Oh, I see. 3 lines to make 111. So I should do some trivia on here with wheelbases.
Well, it was
But you know what? It was off by a tooth.
off by a tooth. I
Her.
would never have known if they hadn't insisted I take that apart.
Okay, everybody. This is what happens because we have a live going. Kim decided somebody on here was asking whether the timing was correct on the cam. So she decided to check it. And you know what? It was off by a tooth. And she said she never would have checked that if somebody on the live hadn't suggested it. So it was off by a tooth. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being persistent, giving me grief about just checking while I have it apart. I wouldn't have realized that was what was causing that noise. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have. But
if Buick Smith came in and said hello, hello. Wow, who was it said that? I'd have to scroll way back. I'm not going to do that. Who was it suggested checking the timing, the cam time? I want to know who suggested that. I just bumped the camera. I bumped the camera. Trying to get my water and I bumped the camera. Chris, 103, Customs. Hi, everyone. Hello. Trying to see your picture there. What is that? Oh, big old jacked up truck. When my son was 10, I had him sit in a Crossfire and he fit perfect. But his 6'4" dad looked like a gorilla in there. Didn't fit me. Well, I don't know if we ever, I guess you sat in the Crossfire. It was so burned up in there, the car wouldn't go. We couldn't get it. Oh, it was Barrows. Barrows suggested that? So anyway, she really thanks you. So we couldn't get that car to move. We had to get it up on a trailer, and the steering wheel was locked at some cockeyed angle and couldn't get it out of gear. And the key didn't work because the plastic was there was no key. All the plastic was melted. So she got in there with a big old pry bar and started busting all the plastic out of the way and somehow got the steering wheel unlocked. And because she broke all the plastic, she's able to get it out of park and into neutral. And so yeah, I saw her sit in the most burned up, filthy mess car you ever seen. But we got it on the trailer and got it out of there. Uh He'll thank us later. You know, JB's little shop had a problem with his turbo hydromatic 700R4. We had him drill holes in it everywhere. That wasn't helpful. I had to work on a 69 Buick Wildcat 430 with the timing off by one cog just earlier today. How does this happen? Uh, Brother Bear, don't say anything. DNR Racing, indeed, Stevenson would. The Yeah, maybe that's all the noise. Hopefully it didn't beat the pistons up too badly. Maybe it just made little dents in. I got a 72 Polaro one time from somebody that did a timing chain on it. They got it wrong, and it put a valve through a piston, and that's how I got the car. I ended up putting one piston in it. Some of the other pistons had little dents, and I just thought, it'll be okay. And I put that thing together, and that car ran great. In fact, Gary from Idaho was in here earlier. He ended up buying that car from me and drove it for a while. Gary and I traded cars around some when we were younger. Gary drove that car around and then he sold it to somebody and he actually made money on it. So I didn't feel bad selling a car to a friend. But I really liked that 72 Polaro. Really liked the car. I had to move the distributor one more tooth to clear the tunnel around. So cool. Oh, that's another thing, Kim. Then now the
Yeah, time will be out of whack.
Yeah, but more whack we got to change. But the distributor runs off one of the balance shafts, doesn't it? Oh, so the balance shafts have to be in the right place. Yeah, double check compression to make sure the valves aren't slightly bent. I think what we're going to do is start it, see if it even runs. Wildcat B52 starter motors. He he he. The early GM cars had plastic teeth on the cam gear, and they wear out. The chain gets play and the timing. You know, I had a 351 Ford. God, was that the engine? Yeah, I put a 351 Windsor in my 64 Ford and I drove it a little bit. It's a used engine. I drove it a little bit before I took it apart. And it had a ticket noise in it. So I took it apart and looked at the timing chain. And there was one tooth, one of those fiber teeth still on the top gear, on the cam gear. And that timing chain was running on the little nubs on the aluminum part of the gear. So that's when I put a cam, lifters, timing chain. I did a whole lot of work that engine. Intake, carburetor, everything. Man, did that engine come alive. Yeah, Dean, it was the SR-71. It was twin Buick engines. And later, when they couldn't get parts for the Buick engines, they put big block Chevys in the starter carts. And Gary that was here from Idaho, that's what he worked on when he was in the military, was he worked on the the KC-135 Q models, the one that refueled the SR. So a lot of times he was up there in a KC looking out the boom pod at the SRs. He's lucky he got that close to him. Got to go everywhere the SRs went. Pretty cool job. Well, I was in the Air Force at the same time, 90 miles away, in a shop working on engines. About as boring as it gets. Gary traveled all over, man, riding around on a at the time, old KC-135. But you know what? That was 50 years ago, and those KCs are still running around. We found his tail number, and that airplane's still flying. That old KC-135 is still flying. That he worked on in the early 70s. We're just amazed. I gotta find the tail number, like anybody here would care. Ford Australia raced cars in 500-mile endurance races with the nylon fiber coated stock cam drives and silent chain. Yeah, you know those things work okay, but that engine probably had a lot of miles on it. It was stuff. The Dakota has a 2.5 four-cylinder, like a K car engine. Except I don't know, the K car had a 2.2. This looks like a 2.2, but it's got some balance shafts in it, and it's a 2.5. But from the outside, it looks about the same.
2.2 had the balance shaft as well.
Oh, it did. She says the 2.2 also had
It's
the
the same thing
same
with
thing.
a bigger core.
No, it's not a V8. It's 2.5, but it's a 2.5 that had a throttle body. She took the throttle body off. She made the adapter out of some sheet metal and bought a carburetor, which is what, like a BBD?
BBD. It's a Carter BBD.
It's a Carter BBD Chinese replacement, brand new carburetor. She got a distributor. It had electronic ignition. She took a distributor, a new one, for some kind of Volkswagen engine, and it had points. And she modified the drive portion of the distributor, put it in this engine. We did that on a live a couple of nights ago, and she fired it up, and it ran first start, first crank with a carburetor and a points distributor. Except it's making noise, so she's fixing the noise now. We hope. Boss 351s and all Clevelands and M's used it. Oh yeah, my what do you call it? The Windsor. The Windsor. My Windsor was the first year of the Windsor. It was a 69. It had fiber gear on it when I first got it. I think the four-cylinder Ford Mustang of 79 had a class action suit filed against them because of their timing belts often broke with low mileage, which bent valves and damaged motors out of warranty. Yeah, I don't know. I had several of those engines, those four-cylinder Pinto engines, and the ones I had would start going knock 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 knock. And the thing I liked about those, they were in Fox body cars, and I replaced them with V8s. But when I tore those engines down, they always had broken pistons. The piston skirt was broken right below the one of the oil control ring, and that piece would either be just wiggling back and forth in the cylinder, or the pieces would be down in the pan. And yeah, then the piston sits in there, rocks back and forth, and it's knock, 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 knock. That's the only problem I had with them. I never had a timing belt problem. I think Ford Mustang, you okay that? That's the drawback of the modular Fords. They use nylon timing chain followers that work off of oil pressure. Drop oil pressure shreds them, giving you the Triton slap. Aren't the Tritons a little different? The Triton is a modular, but it's like only one version of it. I've got a modular engine in my van. It's got 329,000 miles on it. I change the oil every 6,000 miles with a good synthetic oil. Never uses any more than about a half quart of oil in 6,000 miles, and it just runs, makes no noise, just runs perfect. Now I can't believe an engine with 320,000 miles, 329, just starts and runs so well. I'm amazed that an engine can even do that. Uh, and if it ever takes a crap, I'll probably put a 383 Chrysler in it. Have you pulled the Dizzy? See what the wear pattern looked like on the gear. Pull the Dizzy.
Distributor?
Oh, this didn't have a distributor. It had what did it have in it? But she's the one that put the distributor in it.
Distributor, but
It was an electronic ignition distributor.
But
But it doesn't have a gear on it. It has like a blade that sticks down in something.
it has a blade.
It has a blade. So when she got the Volkswagen distributor, she had to take the blade off the other uh, distributor and adapt it to the Volkswagen distributor, do some other things so it would fit. And she's got the Volkswagen points distributor in there. So she's running with points distributor and a carburetor now. It fired right off. I got the perfect distributor from the Jungle website. The Jungle website. Oh, I know what that is. That's Amazon. For a Mopar 400, it hits the valve cover before it seats. Want to get it going? 61 Town Wagon 4x4 from the U.S. Army. Oh, I had a friend that had one of those 4x4. What is that thing called? A ton and a quarter truck. Real boxy looking thing made by Jeep. And it had that overhead cam Jeep engine in it, inline 6-cylinder. He pulled that out, put a 440 Chrysler in it, a C6. That made a heck of a truck. My 79 4-cylinder Mustang vibrated and jumped into drive during high idle. And it dragged through the car wash while I read a newspaper and it shot through and shattered the windshield. Jeez. I was one block home. M715. Yeah, I don't know all those M. He was one of these guys that knew all those things. The thing that surprised me about that Jeep engine, we took the cam cover off of it, and there's only 6 lobes on the cam. And the way the rockers are, the same cam lobe runs the intake and the exhaust valve. Can you believe that? That's a military engine. I don't know. Maybe they use those engines in other stuff too. Dr. Go. Another class legal action job. C3 shifter. Yeah, I don't know about that. So many of these things, All Fords had D10 issues with their floor shifters in the 70s. I used to use those shifters and I liked them, but I don't know. I took them apart, made sure everything worked okay. And sometimes a little plastic gizmo in there I had to replace. But I had a 56 Ford. I put one of those shifters in and I'm trying to think of what else I used them in. Cars that didn't have a floor shifter and I put those in. I had a 56 Ford. I put a 289 a C4 in and
Okay, I'm gonna record, but just
okay, she's gonna record. I'm gonna be quiet when she's recording.
okay. Moved it up. This is how it's lined now. See the dot, dash, 1, 2. Feel like that feels better alignment. Right here to start. We're on here. See, it's still flatters. Obviously, much. Okay.
Got it? Okay. She did a little recording. I had to shut up while she was recording.
Thank you.
But that distributor still uses a gear to engage the cam. No, it uses a gear or something to engage to a balance shaft. And the wear pattern is bad, then that might also be some noise. This noise sounded like every lifter in a V8 engine going bang, 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 bang. It sounded like it had.
I mean, there might still be noises, but that was
that engine sounded like it had no oil pressure, but she said it had oil pressure, and we ran it. I don't know, some seconds.
Only like a minute.
Wasn't even a minute, 15 seconds maybe. And I said, turn it off. I don't know. She might have run it 30 seconds. I don't know. I don't think it was that long. It was the Merc Black Max. Oil injection relied on plastic gear. Once it fails, it's over. Okay. Tornado 6. Yeah, that's what it was. Tornado 6. Designed by an ex-BMC engineer. Triumph did the same thing with the Dolomite Sprint I6 valve slant 4. Oh, that's possible. Yeah, it just seemed like a strange thing the first time I saw it. pin drive distributor. Well, the distributor, I don't know, Kim, where's the thing you took off that's you didn't use? I don't know where that little gizmo went. So I can show everybody what the thing looks like. You have it there? The distributor drive looks like this. See this thing? Yeah, there you can see it. That's what the distributor looks like, except this one's centered, and the one on this was off the Volkswagen, I guess.
No, that's the one that came off the car.
Okay, then the one for the Volkswagen was offset. How'd you get that to work in there? I thought you took the one off this and put it
I
on.
had two different ones. I took the one off another one just like it.
Okay, she took another drive off that looked exactly like this, off some other Chrysler distributor, and she adapted that to the Volkswagen distributor. The Volkswagen's like this, but the pins are offset to one side.
The Volkswagen one.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was gonna work, but it didn't fit right like it was supposed to.
she thought this was going to work, but you can see the pins are offset, so it wouldn't work. So she had to adapt, and the diameters are different.
Yeah,
She
I think I
got
had to drill it out just
she
a
had to
bit.
drill it out and make it all work, but she got it to work, and so it's on there. Here, you can take this too. So,
And then we needed to make the Volkswagen engine has a special clamp that holds around it, whereas this is molded with a plate that gets like a fork that holds it down. So we had to make like a washer
thing.
that clamps around so the fork could hold it. We made it work.
Well, if you're here watching it that night, I went cut out the round piece of metal and drilled a hole in it, and then
We made a
she bent
points
some tabs,
distributor
and
for this garbage.
so
What are all these?
what?
Oh, these are for this.
Oh, they fell out of that. I didn't know it.
No, I got to put this back
Okay,
on.
let's see here. I'm behind here. Pin drive. Okay, Barrows. My mother had a '76 T-Bird that popped into reverse, warming up in the driveway. Took out the neighbor's fence and porch. Man, it's going fast here. We named the car Christina. Bosch 009 was used because why would Mopar use a Lucas distributor? Chris, I heard that about the V6 Mercury outboard Black Max. My oil pump assembly was replaced years back, but I never looked inside. I hear many people just pre-mix their oil, play it safe. That's what I used to do with the Rotax engines. I'd get rid of the oil tank, just pre-mix everything. I pre-mix to be safe. Yikes, Barrows. Uh, Buick Smith. Okay, I see. Some early Toyota and Datsun stuff used that style also off the front of the cam. Five-cylinder VW Audi drive. Huh. Could be, I don't know. I saw something back here that reminded me of an incident that I had. Uh, I had a shop and a guy brought me a 1970 or 71, I don't remember which it was, Ford Thunderbird 429 engine, and it started up. It looked like it was just smoke out the back, and it was a clattery old engine that smoked like hell. And he found a 73 Thunderbird that had a 429 in it, and he wanted me to pull the engine out of the 79 and put it into the 71 or 73. Well, put it into 71. So I did the job for him, got it in there, got it running, and I lived about 2 miles from there. So I drove it home at lunchtime just to put a few miles on it to make sure everything was okay. Well, I had to go across railroad tracks. Well, coming back, I'm going up over the railroad tracks, and that stupid car quit on the tracks. Big, heavy Thunderbird. And I got out, and it was two sets of tracks, double rails. So I got out of that car with the door open, pushed so hard, and I got it off the tracks, rolled down off the grade crossing off the side of the road. Had to call a tow truck to get it back to my shop. What happened was there's a hex drive that goes down to the water pump or down to the oil pump that drives the distributor, and uh that drive broke. I never saw that happen before. So I had another one out of the old engine, so I had to take that all apart, put it in there, and it ran fine after that. But I can't imagine why that drive broke. It sheared off. And that was the only time ever in my whole career as being a mechanic that I saw one of those things break. And I was always worried about that engine. Whatever made that shear off would happen again. But I see that guy around. I used to see him around for years, and it was fine. Those years T-Bird were the size of a Lincoln. Yeah, the 73 was like a Lincoln body, and the 70 was the one that came up the front and had a big old beak up front. 2 years it had the beak, 70 and 71. I believe that one was the 71.
All right, how brave are you feeling?
How brave am I feeling? What are you going to do? Make some noise?
Try and start it.
Why don't you crank it without the ignition on? And let's listen. What about the ignition time?
I just said it.
You set the ignition.
Oh, but you know what? I forgot to put the rotor.
Oh, there's no rotor in there?
Yeah, that won't work without the rotor.
Am I 6'6"? I am not 6'6". I'm barely 5'6". I think I'm 5'7". Kim says I'm 5'6". Because when I stand next to Kim, I gotta look up. Like if there's low clouds, I can't see her. Kim might be 6'6". She's not 6'6". She's probably like 5'9" or something. I got I got a tall body and a really short legs. So when I get in cars, yeah, Kim's kind of tall. So when I get in a car to reach all the pedals, I gotta slide the seat way forward, and then my arms were like I'm just so miserable like that. Well, something about the new cars, the seats tilt back so I can get my butt up forward and reach the pedals, and top of my body isn't so mashed against the steering wheel. And Kim gets in a car, she actually slides the seat forward from where I have it. If I had time and money, I would just love to put a V6 Merc two-stroke in a car. Hey, there's somebody that just put what was it, a 12-cylinder, or maybe it's a V8, uh, two-stroke in a car, some kind of marine engine. Geez, I saw that like within the last year. You get over 350 horsepower on a modified hit. But it just sucks buying jeans.
Sometimes.
Me, yeah, I mean, I wear like a 3429. Try to buy those. Well, so mostly I buy 3430s and just pull the pants up and step on the actually 3430s. Uh, let's see. I don't know about her. I don't sell shoes. And the oil pump drive on the 385. 385 is like a 429 or 460. 385, EF is tiny, which is Big Lot Ford, nearly the same as the Windsor. Uh, It's why I never use anything but stock oil pump in a Ford. It doesn't take a lot to pop that shaft, really. See, here's what happened was I put a used engine in. I didn't know what the history of that 73 Thunderbird was. It came in on a hook. I just took the engine out. The guy bought the stuff, wanted me to swap it, so I swapped it.
If I had
Okay.
money, tell you
If
what
I had
I'd
money,
do.
if I had money,
Go downtown, buy a Mercury or two. Crazy about a Mercury. Crazy about a Mercury. And buy me a Mercury. Cruise it up and down the road.
hey, you got stuff in your hair. There's stuff you don't belong in your hair.
Man, this is dirty work. Filthy, dirty, dirty.
Yeah, 3429 are not easy to find. Um, I buy some kind of Levi's, and I've bought for like, because I'm an old guy, I've been buying them probably for 30, 40 years. But it's always 3430s because 29s. I have like one pair of 29s. Uh, but then my body's tall. So when I buy a t-shirt, it's like a bikini top. My belly button shows. I hate that. So I buy these. That's why I'm always buying. I got one that doesn't have a name on it. I buy these Duluth Trading Company shirts because they're a little bit longer. In fact, their size different than anybody else. If I buy an extra large t-shirt, the arms are kind of baggy in here, which I don't like, and they're too short. And that'd be an extra large, but the Duluth Trading Company shirts, I buy a large, and they're long enough that my belly button doesn't show. Yeah, my pep says drive me to drinking. You don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln. Yeah, you know what that hot rod Lincoln was? I never understood what that was when I was young. It was a Model A with a V12 Lincoln flathead. And that thing's touring around at car shows. Okay, Kim, what do we got here? I'm gonna walk away from the camera, sorry. See what's going on over here. Sorry, they're my short legs.
Okay, you can
Hey,
listen.
I wanna not put, not gonna put any.
No, 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 be patient. Just listen.
And I'm gonna look to make sure, hang on, Kim, I'm a little bit, I stood up too quickly.
Okay, well, let's
That means I'm a little behind.
say it.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, let me get some light. Hang on. Let me get a light.
Yeah,
It's back here.
bring a light over. Oh,
What is this mess?
this is everything up.
Oh my God! I'm going around. I'm not walking through that. Yeah.
Wow.
Can everybody see that? No, there's a heap of shit next to that truck. And I'm like, what's this? It's like everything that was in the truck. People use that for a garbage can.
Ready?
No. Okay, I'm ready. It's like
Ready, clatter.
no noise. No noise.
Okay.
Okay, so are we gonna ignite it now? You
Um,
gotta put some gas in the. You gotta put some fuel in the carby, as they say down under.
uh,
Oh, you got electric fuel. Okay, this is like
fancy stuff.
we have like a standby with a fire bottle.
Hold on a minute.
That's Air Force stuff. Standby with a fire bottle. Oh, you're gonna do a video?
Well, yeah, we're
You
making.
can't do a video while I'm doing that. We've got too many. Oh, you're gonna put it on your stand. She's gonna do a video, but we're gonna make noise. I can't read that from here. I'm sorry. I got my close-up glasses on, and the chat is way across the room.
Well, you're gonna have to entertain yourself a little bit.
Gonna have to entertain yourselves while we make noise.
All right. So we're
So
back together. I put a little lubricant. I didn't show you. Did say with the lubricant, but I took some Lucas, just dumped it on the cam lobes so they'd all have some nice slickiness to them.
slickiness,
Slickery,
slickiness.
slickeriness. And you're gonna hold that on that.
You need the fuel make trap.
Take her back there. This can go.
She got a little facet pump that's got Purelator written on it, but I think it's a facet pump.
Okay.
And she's
So
got
you
that
need
fuel.
two together. Or well, here.
Oh, put that one in there. Get your pump going. Yeah, just put it in there. Stuff it in there. It'll quit one though. Oh, you're gonna see if the carburetor.
Yeah, we're doing this in one
One step at a
one
time.
dumb mistake at a time.
One dumb mistake at a time. It's a suction. Not suction. Is that in the gas? Oh, it is. It's in the fuel. Where's that pulling any fuel?
I don't know, maybe there's already fuel in the.
Oh, they just stopped making noise. It's probably full now.
I mean, the carburetor's full of gas. So.
Okay, that's why it stopped making noise. Okay, that hose needs to be stuck down in there for you. It's only like a quarter inch of fuel. Okay. There.
Let's just see if it starts.
Yeah,
If it does, we're worried about getting the pump going better.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Let's just see if it's.
gonna pop the garage door. So we get a little
So you get some exhaustion.
exhaustion.
Here come the bugs.
Here comes the bugs.
Here come the mosquitoes.
Yep, and the heat.
Was it warm out there? It's warm out there.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Got no gas bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna need to find that or something. Do you have slip bones?
It's got one there.
Yes, that's it. Trucks do like to go more. I know. Okay, that's good. People always underprimed. I don't know why these people. Not everybody. With a whole engine. Oh, yes. Yep.
Noise is gone.
Noise is completely gone.
Yeah.
Barrows, you're so damn smart.
You saved it, man. You saved it.
Diagnose that from halfway across the country.
Same. Way to go. Teamwork makes work, baby. All right, you can sit down. I gotta.
I'm going back to my seat. Yeah, an old jug full of gas. Okay, yeah, and ticks. No, the ticks won't come in here until you walk in the grass and then they come up your pants and everything. Okay, let's see here. I was always told that it was 430 MEL. It was in the Hot Rod Lincoln. I found out it wasn't all right in that one. Yeah, it's a V8. It's kind of like a Model A with a longer nose on it. I always thought it was something else.
Wow.
It's an Uncle Brian. What's an Uncle Brian? Is uh, I would love to have the Canadian
Scooch over.
1985 Mercury pickup truck. Let me grab my drink.
No.
I would love to have
Scooch
Cana-
this way again. I'm
the
sorry.
Canadian 1965 Mercury pickup truck to tow my Mercury. Hey, we were at a car show and we did a video on it. And there's a 65 Mercury pickup truck and it's turquoise and white. Remember that? It was a local show here. And it's in our video. It's a Mercury truck. Way cool, no bent valves. No, it sounds
Barrows,
wonderful.
you saved our bacon.
You know what? And there's no cam cover on it. It's quiet. And it's got lube in it. Yeah, Barrows, you came through. Good job. Hopped up Lincoln on Thunder Road, was trying to get out of second gear while shifting down a 409. A little late. Okay, yeah. Knows
Dead moon.
words. Knows all words to all these songs.
All the words to all the songs.
You know what? You know what? What can we send Barrows? You know what? He sent us pictures that we used on this video. He's diagnosed this problem, saved your engine.
Man.
We got to send him some kind of. You know what Uncle Tony sends people halfway around the world. He sent them cheese. He took a piece of cheese that they'd been eating off of and sent it to Australia.
Geez, send it. Have you ever
Can't
used?
believe the guy did that.
Have
We
you,
won't send you cheese, I'll tell you
have
that.
you ever used like an Amazon wish list? Like, send us your Amazon wish list, and we'll buy something.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah,
We'll
just
drop ship it straight to you.
don't be putting any new cars or anything on there. We'll see if we can send you something.
Man, we owe you.
Well, Mexican Spec, you missed it all. This is what happened. You know, this engine in this truck is clack 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 clack, clack, terribly noisy. And I said it doesn't sound like it has oil pressure. That was the last time we ran it. You know all that. And then we decided it was just coming from the upper end. So Kim was taking the cam cover off, gonna look.
We thought we had collapsed lift.
Thought we had collapsed lifters. And Barrows says, you know, are you sure the timing's not right? That the cam timing isn't right? And I'm saying to Kim, did somebody else just put a timing belt on that? We didn't know, but so she got under there and started checking the timing, which she shouldn't have done. She wouldn't have done if Barrows hadn't suggested it. And the timing was off by a tooth. The cam belt was off by a tooth. So Kim corrected that. And she just started up, no more noise, everything's good. Got the cam cover off. I had a light on it.
It started quiet.
It's so nice. So Barrows saved her ass.
It was off by a tooth. That's so
Barrows
awkward.
says, I'll send you a sticker to stick under the hood. If you take my advice, then I get the most exposure. Yeah, we send us a sticker. We'll stick it under the hood. Send us 2 or 3 stickers. We'll stick it under the hood of every car that we drive around here, this whole car.
We'll name a battery after you,
battery. We'll
like
stick one.
Mortsky does.
We'll stick one on the Valiant. I'll stick one on the. Maybe she'll stick one on her Dart, and we'll stick one on this car. Oh, you were listening, Mexican Spec, so you know what happened.
I
That's
can't.
so cool. Can you believe that?
That's fantastic.
Was
We
this?
came out here. We had no idea we were going to do
We
that.
had no idea what we were doing when we came out here tonight. Man,
Now I got to put the valve cover gasket back on.
Kathy only sends things to zero. I don't know. They were sending stuff to other people for a while. Man, that was just after I was there. I was up in Maryland. They were sending stuff.
I gotta go brush the stupid valve cover off. It's a mess.
Yeah, clean the bed. Is the gasket good enough to reuse?
It might be, yeah.
You know what?
Because it's got these rubber gaskets on the ends.
Okay.
They didn't tear or nothing. And it's got, uh, it's just got this stuff on the sides. So.
Oh, somebody goofed the shit out of it. Well, obviously somebody had the cam cover off because there's nasty looking old RTV all over everything put on with
Well,
like 10 times too much.
Let's put that right back where it came
Okay.
from.
Buick Smith says, why did it jump in the first place? Is the chain loose? It's a belt. And I suspected that
It looked new.
somebody had changed the belt because it looked very new. And then the truck quit being driven because they said it had a bad fuel pump. So Kim bought it for next to nothing, brought it here, converted it to carburetor, converted it to points because we like to do that kind of thing. Excuse me. She hasn't put a fuel pump on it yet. So we've got like an external fuel pump. Then it made all that racket. And so she fixed the timing. My guess is that whoever put that timing belt on there did it wrong. And then they never put the timing belt cover back on it. So it's lost somewhere. I know what they did. They just went out of the hell with it when it ran like crap and or they couldn't get it started. And they sold it to her for cheap. See you folks having fun in the shop. It's good enough for me. I'm with y'all. Barrow, is she going to be at No Name Nationals? I should know who's going to be there and who isn't. I sure hope so. Geez. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you could even hear it. It was so quiet. Oh, man. I don't know Kim went. She went out for something. She's out there getting bit up by all the mosquitoes. We're in here with the air conditioning running. Last year, Kim bought an air conditioner for $200. It was a scratch and dent, new one, but all something wrong, beat up shipment or something. So she bought it, put it in the window over here. Man, it just knocks the humidity right down, makes it really nice in here. And my electric bill hasn't been much higher. It's been maybe $10 a month higher, but maybe not. Maybe $8 a month higher. It's worth every cent of it because we're comfortable in here. That's what you need, Mexican spec. Find a window air conditioner. I don't know if they do this kind of thing in Mexico. But, some place that has there's places here like Scratch and Dent. It's stuff that's not good enough to sell new, but it's new. And she got that air conditioner at that place. She got something else. We got a gas grill. They didn't even charge her for the gas grill. They gave it to her. The knobs were missing and it had a big dent in the top of it. Well, we don't care. Turn the shafts of the knobs with some little blades or something. And I'm gonna have to get some knobs for that. We use that thing probably 3 or 4 nights a week with a gas grill. It was free from a scratch and dent place. God, uh, Barrows depends on my dad's health again. But we're pushing hard and looking forward to having supper with you at Lambert's. Oh yeah, that was great. Uh, yeah, and hopefully your father does okay. I've been through that whole thing. Man, I was living in Yuma, and my father was 91. They were trying to move, and he was in a walker and trying to help move stuff, and he fell and broke his shoulder. Well, That was the beginning of the end. And he ended up in the hospital for months, then in a nursing home. All he wanted to do was go home. He couldn't. And then he passed away when he was 91. But I was in Yuma, and it was 800 miles away, and I was 800 miles, no, 500 miles away. Took me 8 hours every trip each way. I was up there trying to help him. It was a tough time. I know how that is. I just put 10 liters of gas in the Black AMC Spirit I have, and then checked the gas gauge. It went further below empty. It's it's backwards. Hey, you know what you do? Ask Barrows what's wrong with it. Uh, Worked on a '97 Toyota RAV4 when setting the timing gears. You can only turn the engine one way. If you go the other way, the belt will jump on the gears. Oh, geez. I'm thinking like ramp gears. My computer room has no window, and the wall I could use. You know what I did? I had a house in Ohio. It's a little tiny, used to be like I call it a vacation cabin because I'm from the West. They call it a cottage. And I cut the wall this just slightly bigger than a window air conditioner. I framed it in like a window, but I didn't put a window in it. I put some foam around it, and I put a window air conditioner in that thing and plugged it in. And it did the same thing up there. It's very, very humid in Ohio. And it just knocked the humidity down that house. And it was the smallest of the air conditioners you can get, which are I don't know what it is. It's whatever the smallest, cheapest. They were about $100 air conditioner I bought new, and it was great. Um, so I don't know. It's not impossible. There's no window in the wall. I could use exits to my neighbors. Oh, that's not good. So I sweat. 91 is a good run, Buff. Yeah. You know, my father and mother were about the same age. My mother smoked, smoking and smoking and smoking her whole life. She smoked for 59 years, and it killed her, destroyed her circulatory system. The last 4 or 5 years of her life, she had heart attacks and heart attacks and heart attacks and surgery to correct problems with veins that were clogged, all this kind of nonsense. She died when she was 73. And then my father ended up remarried to a woman that's just a great person. I always said he was in his mid 80s. I always said he married a younger woman because she was 77. So we always had a good laugh about that. So then his last years were pretty good. He was remarried, which is actually kind of a compliment to my mother. He enjoyed being married. And then you know, he was struggling to get around with a walker, and he fell. And yeah, 91's a good run. I don't think anybody else in our family, well, at least on my dad's side of the family, he was the oldest. And my grandmother, my mother's side of the family lived to be 99. Hewitt Smith says, your grandma's 99 and her six friends still drive to go to stores together. They call her the teenager because she's the youngest one of the bunch. Yeah, isn't that fun? I always say, smoking killed my mother, and then she drank wine all day long, and I never saw her drunk, but she'd sip wine, and then an hour later sip wine, a couple hours later sip wine. So she probably had some alcohol in her. But I always say that killed her. But then you always see some woman that's like 104, and they say, "What's your secret to living so long?" And the woman will say something like, "Well, I smoke like 10 cigarettes a day, and I always have a couple of shots of whiskey." And it's like, maybe that's not what kills her. Don't know. Uh, I knew a guy. There was a guy that I worked with in Arizona, and we were running a big old logistics hub during the war in Afghanistan. And so we were busy, 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 shipping stuff to Afghanistan. So his grandfather showed up one day, and he told me about his grandfather. He said, "Yeah, my grandfather's 104." So 104. I'm thinking it's a skinny little weak guy that maybe gets to the bathroom and back by himself. So this guy shows up one day, and he's got like kind of like me. He's got a little belly on him. He's an older guy. He drove up in a Honda. What are little Honda SUVs? Like yeah, he drove up in a CRV. Gets out, comes in. I shake his hand. He's introduced to me as this guy's grandfather and everything. He's there for a couple hours. walking around like a 60-year-old in good shape. And he leaves, and I said, I assume that's a grandfather from your mother's side of the family, not the old one. He goes, no, he's 104. I said, that guy's 104 years old. He goes, yeah. And then I start learning about the guy. He was he was Jewish. He was from Germany during World War II. He was in a concentration camp. Got out. He met his wife in the concentration camp, but they lost track of each other. They met up in New York City at Ellis Island, and they ended up they met up a second time in the U.S. after the war, and they ended up getting married. And she was a few years younger than him, but she had dementia real bad. So he was 104, and he's taking care of his wife that was 99, and quite a guy, man, quite a guy. And he had, he had the tattoos that he didn't really like to show people, but said, yeah, he has them. And he came to the U.S., New York City, and worked there delivering ice for ice boxes when everybody didn't have refrigerators yet. He ended up out in Yuma, and once in a while I'd ask this guy, "How's your grandfather doing?" He goes, "Oh, he went up to Phoenix today to buy a couple of horses." Like, what's he doing with horses? He goes, "Well, he rides the horses." Like he's 104 years old. He's riding horses, driving around. What a guy, man! But that was some years ago. He's passed away now. Kind of sad. My grandfather was 99, six friends, probably a teenager. She was mad about it. And yeah, every once in a while you meet somebody that really makes an impression on you. He was one of them. So what are you doing there? Oh, you cleaned all that goober stuff off. Oh, you're gonna re-goob it with goober stuff.
Yeah,
Do we have some
we've got something.
we got something to put on there. 2 US gallons on ice. Okay, what Kim's gonna do, she peeled a bunch of ribbony looking RTV off that thing because whoever put this together made a mess on it. Oh, I got the hiccups. So
Shoot, I let this run the whole time.
let what run? Oh, you're still recording?
Like 20
I
minutes.
guess what you'll do is have to edit that.
Uh,
There's a good series on Disney and National Geographic called Blue Zones, places in the world that has the highest concentration of centurions, people over 100. Well, that's pretty interesting. Probably a bunch of people that eat a lot of fat, high calorie stuff,
Something
sugar,
doesn't add up at all.
smoke and drink. Well, what I was going to say about my father, my mother was really kind of rough on herself with all the cigarettes and alcohol. My father would drink a beer once in a while. He smoked when he was young, but quit. And he had low blood pressure his whole life. My mother was on blood pressure meds, real high blood pressure, worse than me. But my father had really low blood pressure. When he went in the Navy when he was 17, it was like blood pressure like 90 over 54 or something. And but it was still like that when he about the time he died, and they were always worried about his blood pressure being too low. He'd laugh and he goes, "It's always been that way." But I think that's why he lived so long. His circulatory system wasn't under such uh, stress all the time. He was a quiet guy that was just rock solid, quiet guy. When he said something, everybody listened because he didn't say a lot. In Scotland, they have black signs. Oh, what's that mean? What does that mean? I've seen that show. Interesting diets of food consumption. Really? So Kim's over here cleaning our TV off with a tool that I painted yellow so we don't lose it in instantly.
It's not that interesting. It's a good thing you're here to talk
It's
because if
because
this was the stream, people would leave.
it would be the scraping video, the scraping gaskets off video. You squinting at, squinting
See
at
how
you
we've been
scraping.
at it?
Oh, we've been at it for an hour and 53 minutes. You see, I have the timestamps on the chat, so I was always looking at my phone. Now I just look at the chat. We still got to do a short for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we do. I
Got
got.
to do a short for me for tomorrow. No, that takes less than a minute.
Well, did you figure out what
Health
you're
tip.
gonna do a short of?
Health tip.
Oh, okay.
Don't eat RTV.
Hmm. What if it's non-toxic?
Without looking it up, who knows what RTV stands for? When I was in the Air Force in 1973 is the first time I saw RTV. And I asked somebody what it stood for. And he said, just right off the tip of his tongue, said, rubber tetravoluene. And I'll tell you right now, that's not what it means. So what does RTV mean?
Not rubber tetravalent?
No, he made that up on the spot. There's some coal tar. Yeah, what's RTV stand for? Somebody will look it up on Google and answer like they're smart.
Answer like a schmuck.
They interviewed the oldest lady in North Dakota once. She was 114. She said the key to living so long was to not. I said about my father. He was not stressed out. I bet I could count on one hand the number of times I saw him get angry. And my brother and I had a discussion about that one night. And he mentioned one time that he remembered real well. And I did remember the incident that my father flipped out at the dinner table. I don't remember what caused it, but I'm sure it was something that we all deserved. But he really got angry. But that's like this many times in my whole life. That's four. Maybe. Maybe not. Saw that man get angry. Rooting, tooting, polluting. RTV. I knew Dean had come up with something. Diet is 90% of it for sure. When I cut out all fast food, all, something of my joints felt so much better. I thought I had early arthritis. I've cut out fast food, but not so much consciously. We just don't have the money to go out and buy that crap anymore. I used to like McDonald's a lot. I used to like Burger King a lot. And I had to make a run up to, man, I sit back. Why is this so crooked? Oh, the whole computer's crooked. Uh, I had to make a run up to Maryland. I driving up there. I was hungry, so I pulled into McDonald's and I bought two of the little cheeseburgers, just the dollar menu, which is probably a $5 menu now. But I bought two of those. Man, I used to like those going down the road because they're not all sloppy. You don't drop stuff all over them. Cheese kind of glues them together. I bit into that. I thought this bread tastes terrible. What's wrong with this stuff? And I just haven't bought anything from McDonald's since then. Ari, how you doing? You shouldn't cut out joints. Yeah. Howdy, everyone. Ari. Ari, you missed the show.
Man, did we have good
I'm going to
fortune tonight.
repeat it. I'm going to repeat it for Ari's benefit. I don't know. Were you here a couple of nights ago? Kim got this truck running. We started up and it sounded like it didn't have any oil pressure. I'm going like, turn it off, turn it off. Doesn't have any oil pressure. She shut it off. So then she started up again and looking at the gauge and it had oil pressure, but it sounded terrible.
Clatter.
So we shut it off. 2 nights later, we're up here and Barrows suggests that maybe
We thought it was collapsed lift.
we thought it was collapsed lifters. But Barrows thought maybe he goes, is the cam timing right? It could be the valves hitting the pistons. So there was no cam belt cover on it, and it uh, looked like a new timing belt. So the possibility is somebody did it wrong. So Kim got under there. That timing belt was off by one tooth. So Kim corrected it, got it started up, and that engine is so quiet and nice. It's perfect. So Barrows from a long distance away, diagnosed the problem, and the engine's great. So now Kim's just got to put the cam cover back on it. She was scraping the gasket.
I mean, there's still a lot to do, but
There's
the
still stuff to
engine's
do. So
saved.
we were earlier today, we were talking about putting a 360 or a 318 in it because the engine was so bad. But apparently the valves were hitting the pistons. Apparently they didn't hit hard enough to break the pistons because the engine sounds good, idles and everything. Man, probably put some little dents in the pistons.
Did
Yes,
you figure out what you're doing for your?
for my
Yeah, I
short.
made you in
You want to do
space.
a short while we're on the air? What should I do a short on? What tools?
You guys got any ideas for a
Well,
short?
I'll just look around and find some tools that I haven't done a thing on yet. I'm gonna get up. I'll be right back. I'm gonna look in this toolbox. Two toolboxes.
Thanks for stopping in, Ari. Mazda RE Pup back in '73 was California's most wild pickup.
Yeah. Where are
I don't think they put it on right, Ari. This engine, I got this truck as a basket case. The gas tank was out of it. The wiring's all torn up.
they said it wouldn't run because it had a bad fuel pump.
No,
My guess is they put a timing belt on it, and when they got it running, they couldn't get it running right, and they just left the timing belt cover off and threw it in a pile somewhere, and basically junked the truck. And Kim bought it. Kim, where's my homes? My homes.
I can't think of what a hump is.
It's a thing that has balls on it. You run down and
Oh, there's one up there somewhere.
can you read? I can't
There's
reach.
one. Check on top of the Mopar cabinet of mystery.
Okay, I gotta get there from here. Good luck getting somewhere across the shop.
My back is going okay. It hurts when I'm trying to sleep at night.
Oh, Kim, this is like a
Yeah, all right. I guess they didn't do it right, and then they thought they were pawning their problems off on somebody else, which they were. But I bought the truck so cheap, I just thought I was going to take some parts off of it, and scrap the rest. But we figured we'd do a Willet run, and I went overboard. I got a different distributor and a carburetor for it because I thought the computer was bad because they had it all torn apart. So yeah, now it's running on a carburetor and a points distributor and a little facet electrical fuel pump, and it starts and idles so far.
somewhere we have a big
He would tell them what to fix. That's amazing, Dr. Go.
somewhere we have a big home that's a one of these ones there. Remember we put stones on?
Yeah?
I'm trying to guess where it might be. Maybe I picked the wrong thing just here, right?
Maybe.
Because I saw this and I thought, oh, that's going to be easy. No, maybe it's in this box with this home. Maybe it's in here.
It could be. It might be in the bin that goes in the trunk of your car.
It's not in here.
Stayed in there. Or
It's
it might
not
be
in
in
here.
the bottom drawer.
Okay. Yeah, we got finished holding the engine. It was no longer important, was
Not so much. We used it here, though, didn't we?
it? Use it right here in this bay in this shop.
Okay. I don't know. Check the big bottom drawers. Boy, am I sweating something terrible.
Maybe I can't do the home thing.
A Lowell hone is a nice piece of equipment.
What is it?
Lyle.
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, ours wasn't a Lyle. Ours was a
Jeez.
3-stone home.
I think it was a Lyle home and we had Chinese stones on it. Was it? Oh, what did we do with it? I go check the bottom drawers over here. Always check your drawers.
What about the big
Check your
standing
drawers.
cabinet?
What cabinet? That one?
The tall wooden one.
Oh, I didn't look in there.
Today might not be the day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look much longer. But when we run across it, then we'll do a short.
I didn't know that, Ari. He says a lot of Matco tools are just rebraided Lyle. Does anybody know where we put the hone when we were
Yes,
done using it?
Barrows. Barrows knows everything. Anybody that can diagnose the problem in the engine from 1,000 miles away.
That was amazing.
Oh man!
And of the 10 people that were in our chat, one of them knew. We have some pretty smart people.
So what we're gonna do is put this somewhere so we can do the next short with it. The next thing I'm gonna do is dig out a couple of other things for a demo. They're gonna have to be patient for a minute while I get my act. So I don't have my act.
Okay.
Oh.
He had TB, was told it was terminal after almost a year being bedridden, just getting around at home. He got well enough, he went back to the mill and worked 18 more years. Wow, with tuberculosis.
What is this?
Dr. Go's dad,
Oh,
bedridden, dying of TB, and he took some time off work, got better, and went back to work for 18 more years.
wow, that's a great man.
Felix Smith says it's the 6th drawer down.
I'm already set up for another video. I need some sheet metal.
He was a good man, Dr. Go. Thank you for sharing his story with us. It's unfortunate so many people don't really live very long into retirement. Yeah, it's that unity of Kim minds.
I'm sorry this is taking so long. I'm looking for pieces and stuff.
Well, I hope you didn't use up all your luck on just this one little motor, because we don't even know what we're going to do with this truck. We had no intention of really making it run. I got other trucks.
That's a parts vehicle, and now it's a nice truck.
Yeah, now I can't take it apart because it runs too good. And I got the gas tank out last night, and it's one of those. It's not a metal tank. It's one of the plastic kind of tanks, so it lasts forever.
Why is there a little piece of sheet metal everywhere until I'm looking for a little piece of sheet metal?
You're looking for. There's some sheet metal on top of the filing cabinet. See if you can pull it out of there.
Oh, plenty up here. Plenty up here. This is exactly what I'm looking for, this kind of stuff. Samples. Samples.
Okay.
Okay,
Some
and then,
rivets too.
yeah, one, I don't think I can fit all that in the number of seconds I have. It's going to be a block of wood. Block of wood so I don't drill into anything important.
See, I wouldn't do the drilling in the short. I would just say first you drill, you show that you drill.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it to it. Oh, How many of you seen, this is what I'm going to do it about is Clecos. How many of you use Clecos? It's a temporary rivet. These are Cleco pliers. And this thing, you stick it in the hole that you drill, and it holds 2 sheets or 3 sheets or something together. And these are old Cleco pliers, like World War II. I think actually these are Korean War era, made in America, really nice Cleco pliers. And these are new, plastic, don't fit my hand or the Clecos very well, but they work, Chinese ones. So I prefer the old ones.
Which motor does Ari have in his Apache?
He has a 350 Chevy, doesn't he?
Does he? Do you think he should try and do porting on the 350 Chevy heads?
And there is so much online about those engines. You need to, yeah, you need to really do some research. I don't know. I don't know. What are you going to use the truck for? Way I see you driving that truck around, the speedometer's stuck on 35. It never moves, and I don't think you go any faster than that. So, is that going to help you any?
Porting's a lot of work.
You go back. We did a video like 8 or 9 months ago, and it's Kim porting the head on the slant six, on my slant six. So she's going to go in there. She's got a Dremel tool. She's going to go in there and clean up a little of the casting flash. Well, then she wants a bigger thing. She sets the the Dremel down and gets a big electric, more business-like porting tool. She's just going to clean up some flash. Well, so 3.5 hours later, that head's ported. She did a pretty nice job on it. Like, man, if she talked through that video like you can't grind here because you're going to water jack and get, it's like I started watching this. I go, Kim, you've been there before. You know these. She goes, yeah. So when she was young, she was racing slant sixes and knew all about that stuff.
I had people show me what to do. Ari, if you're gonna do it, just don't spend too much time on the first port, or else you'll make yourself a whole lot of time for all the others. So just do 5 minutes each port and just keep working your way from one end to the other, one end to the other, one end to the other.
Oh yeah, so that all the ports end up the same. Because you start working on one end, and by the time you get the other end, your porting could be a little different.
He says he fixed the speedometer.
Oh, you fix the speedometer.
Listen to you heckling people.
Well, last time I've ridden with you in that truck so many times online, and your speedometer is always 35 miles an hour. It doesn't matter if you're sitting still or going fast. So you fixed it. That's pretty good. Is it correct? Speed limit signs in Southern California are only there to tell you how fast you could be going if people would get out of. Yeah, I used to think about that, like in LA, with the cops, You think you could do something about these people getting back up to 65 miles an hour? Because they're only going two. Here. No, no, no. That's dumb. This is the thing you need, not that.
All right. I'm gonna give them the front and center view so that they can get a real view of
What are you
what's.
gonna do? Oh, you gotta move the main camera. What? I don't want them doing that. I want them to see you doing the.
Oh, you want them to see me?
Yeah,
Just
you're
put
gonna
it.
see this when it's done.
All
Okay, now
right.
you've moved this all around. Jack did
Wreck
it.
the whole damn system.
Okay.
Mad at me.
It was really good.
All right.
It's no longer 20. Oh, 25. I thought it was 35. I need to fix a little sending unit deal on the transmission still. Oh, yeah, where the little plastic gear goes in.
I gotta wash my hands.
Yeah, wash your hands, and then you can handle my phone. I may have to stand up during this. This is going to be fun to fit into 60 seconds.
I don't know how you're gonna fit it.
I'm going to do it. If I don't, we'll do it twice. I have a short that I'm doing around 90 in the GS transport. Only one guy noticed that the shift indicator was still on. Huh. Oh man. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Meant to kick that down.
It still fell down.
I don't care. Once likes that. They can't see me in this.
Well, you're gonna have to. You probably get up close. You probably here. I'll turn it this way a little bit, and I know what you'll do. You'll be moving the camera on, getting up close, and all that kind of stuff. So what you're gonna do, what we're gonna do this time, is I'm gonna have to be standing up, which you're gonna like because the light's gonna be. We have lights down low. It'll be getting up under my. Why don't you push that light forward a little bit
Towards you?
toward me? There. Now it'll get up under the brim of my hat when I'm standing up.
Yeah, you
Will
won't
that
look
work?
like a raccoon.
I look like a raccoon.
No, you don't look so much
I
like.
don't look like a raccoon. Okay, so I'm gonna ignore the chat for a minute. My pants are falling down. I can't be standing here with my pants falling down. See, I can do funny stuff. This is only a drill.
Drill.
Okay, this is an 1/8 inch drill, and I put a lot of things together with rivets. You may want to do that in body work, but I'm gonna make a couple of holes here. Oops. And show how to hold this stuff together while you work. And without permanently attaching anything, you put this thing in, which is a cleco. And the way the cleco works is it gets small when you go like that. And then as you get the two sheets together, it gets big at the end, that end, holds the sheets together. Then you continue drilling holes and put more clecos in. When you're finished, you can weld it. You take one cleco at a time, put rivets, but that's a good temporary method to hold sheets together.
52 seconds.
52 seconds. Is that any good?
No.
What's wrong?
You kept moving. I couldn't keep up with you.
Okay, let me see what it looks like. Might have to do 2 takes. Yeah, action. Yeah, here, Mexican specs, right. Take 2. I hate take 2.
I didn't think it was any good. He kept moving, and I was like, I'm looking, I'm trying to see what he's doing, and he's moving fast, but I can't keep up.
Okay, yeah, I already got this up. Okay, I got to do this again. Watch it, see if I think it's any good. Couple holes, I built one hole.
That's right. You guys be quiet on the set.
We could use it.
So, okay, so
I am really shaky tonight. It shows in the video. That see
Okay.
everybody, I shake and I don't like it.
So
Pretty good. Usually takes me 4 to 5 times because 102, 105. You know how many times we've done that? Kim will go, "Oh, that was good," except it was 101, and I go, "I'm a second over." She goes, "You can edit it out." Well, that takes a while. So what I do is we just do a second take. You want me to get rid of the? You want
I
me
want
to get
you to
rid of the
record
drill?
me real quickly. I'm just gonna show you what
You're gonna show me how to do it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
show you how
Well,
it's
I
done.
can. What I can do now is drill a second hole right now, and then we can do 2 clecos.
No, just record me.
I'll do you, and then you can be on my short.
All right.
It didn't freaking go. I touched it and it didn't record.
Okay.
Oh, I'm shaking.
This is a cleco. It's a special tool for when you're using rivets with sheet metal. This tool connects the cleco, and then when you squeeze, these feet come together, and when you release, it will hold the two sheets together like so. But pressing it again, you can remove it. So if you need to build something that has to come back apart before, like if you need to put something together and take it back apart, but you're going to finish with rivets, maybe welding, these might be really useful to you. That's it.
I could shut it off. It's I might have gone over at the end.
Oh, Barrows. Oh, it's always 106.
Yeah, this one's 42.
And you might be able to cut 6 seconds out, but only a half second at a time, so you have to make 15 cuts.
You have to be quiet while I listen to this. Sure,
Okay.
louder than this.
It's a special tool for when you're using rivets with sheet metal. This tool connects the cleco, and then when you squeeze, these feet come together, and when you release, it will hold two sheets together like so. But pressing it again, you can remove it. So if you need to build something that has to come back apart, or like if you need to put something together and take it back apart, but you're going to finish with rivets and welding, these might be really useful.
Actually, it's pretty good. I think you're going to be in my next short. Okay, what do you guys think? Lars, how you doing? You stepped in just after the recording. Oh, there you go. This is a bulkhead for an airplane that I was building that just never got done.
See, what I don't understand is why don't you just put a rivet in every time you drill a hole?
Because when you want to see this,
Because I think that's the part that's important to
okay,
explain.
this is a perfect example. You drill holes.
Let me start recording.
No, this is going to be a long video.
Okay. Can you turn it down, bud?
And here we are. Tool time shorts.
Do a lot of these tools short.
But I don't want to, I'm a little shaky. I don't want to, I'll talk.
That sounds
Well,
good.
have me just the pliers. I don't want these bright red things.
Okay.
They look cool, but they are not cool. They're Chinese.
Well, just explain.
Okay, here.
You
No,
understand the question.
okay, but
That's what's
don't
important.
start until I make sure these cleats have been here like 5 years. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. They're really in there. Let's get a new cleat, that force. Where's the drill? Where is the drill at? You took it somewhere. Kim, where's the drill? What'd you do?
Here's the drill. Why is that hole too small?
The hole is a little got crud or something in it. I don't know. Might be misaligned. Might be. Okay, I don't want the drill up here. Here. I'll put the drill down. You were reading and I was trying to talk to you. Let me make sure this actually works. Yeah, there was crud or something in there. Okay, this is going to be a back and forthy
Okay.
because back and forthy, that's like horizontal instead of vertical. Vertical is up and downy. Okay, so the reason is that because this is going to go over, and I need some longer content anyway. Does everybody agree with that?
Turn off the noise machine.
The noise machine, that would be the air conditioner. You guys are going to watch us record videos on video.
They get what's.
I have a crack in the middle of my phone screen, so using the slider to edit on the 7th level of help. We edit on a big screen on a laptop. But if you need one of those gimbal handles, oh yeah, I could hold it out there, walk around like Barack Obama with a selfie stick. Let's see here. Really like your tool shorts, though. Good stuff. Oh, thank you. That's coming from somebody that knows their shit. And I appreciate that comment. It's pretty nice. Okay.
God, I'm ready whenever you.
How bad is this? Is it really filthy dirty on this side? It is, but okay, let's go. The question has come up why we use Clecos as because they're temporary. Why not just put rivets in right from the beginning? And the Clecos can come back out and can go back in. And what happens is we drill all these holes. There's like this is a piece of sheet metal. See the sheet metal? And it's attached to a bunch of angles. And this is an airplane part that ended up not being built. But what happens is when you drill those holes, there's all kinds of little shreds and pieces of aluminum and stuff get between the parts. You don't want to rivet that together because then all those shreds are in there and it makes the joint weak. Another thing is like this part would go together with rivets and with adhesive. So we drill it all, make sure it all fits, and then it would come apart. We put the adhesives in there, put a few Clecos to hold it in place, and then rivet it. Also on this part, there's angles that are going to come in this direction. This is a fuselage bulkhead. The man, some nasty looking spider there. There's another angle that comes in here, and to get this attached, there'd be a weldment in here that would be thicker, like maybe 90,000 steel that's welded into this corner to make this corner strong, and there'd be four of those. So you'd have these in there, and then you'd have to drill through the steel when you put the angle in that's going to come in this direction. So when you're ready to bond it all together, you pull all the Clecos out, you get the adhesive ready, you mix it up, you put it on there, put a few Clecos to hold it, and then rivet it together. So the only thing between these parts is the adhesive. No shreds from the drill. And with steel and aluminum together, the adhesive becomes very important because you don't want steel and aluminum to come together because there's going to be a reaction and you're going to have corrosion in there. You don't want to have that. So you really want to have adhesive between the steel and the aluminum. And that also is important because you don't want any steel shreds in there from the drill. So all that needs to be cleaned out of there. And so that's why you use the Clecos. And the Clecos are they're so convenient. They're so easy to use. You just go in there like that, holds everything together, temporary rivets.
Wow, that's great. That was well spoken. Like two minutes and 53 seconds.
2 minutes and 53 seconds. I told Kim my goal on these longer videos right now, we're going to try to do some 3-minute ones. So I was 7 seconds
That's
short.
perfect. No, that's
Which
great.
is good, which is good. Okay, what's anybody think? Uh,
They all left.
they all left. Oh, there's one more person in there that was in there when I started. Uh, so I don't know. They'll see when it comes out. Oh, let's look at that, see if there's any clicking. For some reason, stupid Samsung phones,
Been clicking.
they start clicking. I don't know why they do that. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Ready whenever you are.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit this.
Yeah.
I got my beginning. Thank you. Question has come up why we use Clicos as because they're temporary. Why not just put rivets in right from the beginning? And the Clicos can come back out and go back in. What happens is you drill all these holes. There's like this is a piece of sheet metal. See the sheet metal, and it's attached to a bunch of angles. And this is an airplane part that ended up not being built. But what happens when you drill those holes? There's all kinds of little shreds and pieces of aluminum and stuff getting between the parts. You don't want to rivet that together because then all those shreds are in there and it makes the joint weak. Another thing is like this part would go together with rivets and with adhesive. So we drill it all, make sure it all fits, and then it would come apart. You put the adhesives in there, put a few clecos to hold it in place, and then rivet. Also on this part, there's angles that are going to come in this direction. This is a fuselage bulkhead. The there's some nasty looking spider. There's another angle that comes in here, and to get this attached, there'd be a weldment in here. It would be thicker, like maybe 90,000 steel. That's welded into this corner to make this corner strong, and there'd be four of those. So you'd have these in there, and then you'd have to drill through the steel when you put the angle in that's going to come in this direction. So when you're ready to bond it all together, you pull all the clecos out, get the adhesive ready, you mix it up, you put it on there, put a few clecos to hold it, and then rivet it together. So the only thing between these parts is the adhesive. No shreds from the drill, and with steel and aluminum together, the adhesive becomes very important because you don't want steel and aluminum to come together because it's going to be a reaction and you're going to have corrosion in there. You don't want to have that. So you really want to have adhesive between the steel and the aluminum. And that also is important because you don't want any steel shreds in there from the drill. So all that needs to be cleaned out of there. And so that's why I use the clecos. And the clecos are they're so convenient, so easy to use. This little there like that holds everything together, temporary rivets. Okay, there's still some clicking in there, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was.
Pharaohs, the thing about we're trying to be very concise and not get we're just trying to practice being short and to the point and
Well,
because I know personally my videos, some of them are like 20 minutes long and they go on too many topics and the algorithm doesn't know who to show them to. So we're trying to be more focused, more channeled with what we do.
this is what I learned from doing the shorts. Is I really have to have my act together and kind of think what I'm going to say, and I got to get it in under a minute. So I've got to hit the important points. Man, this is like a how-to videos. Content creators. John does content creators workshop. So what I do is I really think it out and I try to get it under a minute. Hit the important parts. Try to keep out all the reaching for stuff. Where did I put this? I did one of those in there. There's a spider crawl in there. I just threw him out of the way. But try to keep that crap to a minimum. And then that's why I wanted to go to a 3-minute video, 3 minutes or less, because I wanted to get the important parts in. And if I don't put a limit on my time, this is a lot of it's an exercise for me. If I don't put a limit on my time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start all the ums and then trying to put a drill bit in a drill and oh, this is the wrong size drill. Where's the other drill? And you see videos like that where they're walking around looking for stuff. They've walked out of cameras looking at a spot on a workbench, nobody there, and you can hear them clattering around getting something, and that people click out of that right away. And so I have to keep the important points going. And I don't know if I did on this. I'm going to go with it and see how it goes.
I think that answers
When
my question I had about the Clicos.
when I get, I'm going to have to edit this because I didn't know you were recording. When I went like this and I was ready to go, you'd already been going. Yeah. And I'm going to have to take that off the beginning.
Did that to
But
tease you.
okay, so I know I'm going to have to go in there and edit, but the only edit's really going to be pulling about 10 seconds off the beginning. And so it's still within my limits I wanted. I said 2.5 to 3 minutes. And I think for 2.5 minutes I can uh keep people's attention and they won't click out, I hope. And you can see that in the analytics. You see you do like a 10-minute video and the people clicked out after 38 seconds. You go, oh man, I did all that work and I didn't get the view time. So I'm trying to get the view time up. And I'm trying that.
Yeah, and
Uh, so
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 we're trying to learn how to do the 1 minute videos, three
Rich,
minute
hello.
videos, and then we already do the longer form stuff, but just like you really have to have someone has to kind of know you and sort of like you as a content creator if they're going to watch you bounce around the garage and do a bunch of different things. Like people who don't know who you are, like a lot of YouTube is how-to videos, people looking to figure out how to do something. So if you base your channel in some educational content, it's it's um it's a good way to get started. It's a good way to get started. Good way to like build your viewership and uh you want your viewers to you want anyone who's watching your channel to feel confident that you're not going to waste their time. And if they're there to learn something and you're just off being trying to be entertaining, they probably will leave and not come back. So at least make a distinction between something that's educational and informative and something that is just like topical. Like this is kind of just this stream, this live is all over the place. Like if we try to tell people like this is how to learn how to
What's
make
this about? What did I put up there? The beginning of the title. Do you remember what I put up there for this live?
no, what was it?
It's like, is Kim's truck a rat rod?
Oh,
Is Kim's truck a rat rod? Well, it's kind of an old piece of crap, but tonight we made it into not such an old piece of crap, thanks to Barrows. But it might actually not be a rat rod because it's not going to end up like throwing some engine in there. It doesn't belong in there. So,
we might still make that Ford into a
so,
rat rod
so
though.
my point is that was our title. But this video went everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's alive, and lives we go everywhere. But when I put up a video that's 3 minutes, I want people to watch the whole 3 minutes. And when I put up one that's 10 minutes and they only watch 37 seconds, I didn't do well with that.
And I've been watching a lot of like how to do good at YouTube videos. Like this is how to be successful as a channel, right? And if you're trying to teach somebody how to do something, you have to focus. If somebody's coming to learn how to rivet aluminum together and they want to learn about clecos, and we're talking about this is not a video for it. But the 3 minutes that we did on this clecos they're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. And YouTube YouTube's algorithm is gonna know to recommend it. Just like you were talking about that porting video that I did. If
That
you
is,
Google search for porting, it comes up
I did
because
it.
the whole video is specifically about porting. It
I
doesn't go off on all kind of
I
tangents.
don't know what comes up now, but as of about a month ago, I searched Google. Just search Google, not even in YouTube. Porting slant six. Maybe that's all I put. Slant six Chrysler, slant six Dodge or something. And there were three listings that came up. Her video was one of them on my channel. And it's like, wow, look at that. Clicked on it. There she is. And it's actually one of the better videos we have because it continues getting hits.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's basically saying a thing
It,
is
it,
how tos are
yep,
evergreen. Yeah,
that's right.
and
You know who I learned that from? Told me that?
who's that?
Uncle Tony. Uncle
Yes.
Tony says, he goes, your friend is Google search because people 10 years from now, you'll still be making money off that video because people search. And I think of all the times I've done jobs like I brought it up on this channel before, the jobs with I was doing putting calipers on the front of my Ford van. And I was doing it out in a big parking lot where it was, and I had the toolbox in my apartment. Pain in the ass to go back and get back and forth get tools. So I've done a lot of brakes, but I can't remember what tools I need. So I watched a video on somebody doing a brake job on a Ford. It was actually a Ford pickup, but it was the same kind of brakes. And he showed all the tools. So I gathered all the tools I needed. I went out to that van, never walked back in to get another tool. I had exactly the tools I needed. And I don't remember how old that video was. It was a couple of years old. So that guy got a hit off and I watched the whole video. And so he got view time from a video he put up quite a while ago. And I bet a lot of people trying to do brakes on Ford pickups and Ford vans go back and watch that. So,
Yeah.
and I may have even subscribed to him. I don't know.
The other thing you could do, if your video is about multiple things, you can do chapters, which divides your video up into little searchable sections. You've probably been on Google searching for something, and found a video that was broken into chapters. And it's not hard to learn how to divide your video up into chapters. You want to be as concise and compartmentalize different processes as possible. I don't do it. It's not easy a lot of times. Like working on a project like this, I bounce around, I back and forth, but people really they like the organization. So if you can figure out a way to better organize it, sure do it. Hey, did was there any other did you like that short or did you have a better
No, I think the short's good. If you don't mind appearing on my channel in a short, maybe having some blonde hair and somebody else like make the short. Yeah, I don't. I'd like to put it up. I don't know. It's up to you.
Oh, the short I did?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to use your short.
I liked you in my short. That's why I'm asking. Can I
Okay.
put you up on my channel?
Sure.
Are you good with that? If you're
Yeah.
not, well, maybe we'll record it again. Uh, the way to check yourself is to have someone that never seen your stuff or channel search out channel and video. Your stuff
Oh,
knows you.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Sometimes I'll look at stuff where I'm signed in as another name, and I'm sure I have a couple of computers that are signed in as other names, so they're yeah, and I'm sure they know you and I work together. So if you're searching with your logged in as you and I'm logged in as me, yeah, it might pick that up. You're probably right about that.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes time to get established where the algorithm knows you. But it's much easier to do that. Like doing random vlogs is not going to get you in the algorithms like sites, like doing a how-to or something that's very topic specific. The very topic specific stuff though, the it's going to grow real slow because there's less people looking for that. But chasing the algorithm, trying to always be chase after the most exciting new topic, it's miserable and it's not really likely to work. Like every once in a while somebody gets successful like that, but usually you just wear yourself out because it changes so rapidly. So you're best to just do the thing that you know how to do and be as organized and concise as possible with it. And they're saying that's how you get longevity. And then the algorithm understands who you are and what you're about. And then they can recommend you to the people that they feel like are going to be interested. And then we do stuff that's just supposed to be entertaining, and that's okay too. The people who already know us will enjoy that because
Do you,
all how to's are kind of dull.
do you think we should put you up there on my,
Sure.
or do you think that's, yeah, we just do it one night? Yeah, because somebody commented in there. Oh man, should I even say this? I've talked about it. My left hand's pretty shaky sometimes, and tonight's really bad. Tonight's one of the worst nights. It's like, I can tell real quick when I do this. Whoa, that's not good. When I do this, I can see it. When I do it with this hand, it's just rock solid. And some nights I do this, and it's rock solid. And other nights it's kind of shaky. And when you see me doing a video and I'm holding something, sometimes I can see that. And I don't like that to show in the videos. And I'm not on any medication for it. And because I'm on other medications, I don't like taking any more medication. But,
Okay, but
but
we get
so my
days.
point is, there've been a couple of comments like, "Hey, old timer, you're kind of shaky." It's like, and I've even replied back, "Yeah, I am. I know it. Some days are better than others, but as long as I can still work, a lot of times the shaking thing, I hold on to something and I don't shake. So the hand that's holding on to something, that fixes it. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't get any worse, but I have addressed it. I haven't been to a doctor yet, but I'm 70. Yeah, it could be worse. I could have heart trouble or I could have worse things. So my left hand shakes a little. Yeah, it's annoying. So tonight, my video had a little shakiness in it, and yours didn't. So I don't know.
I just felt
Maybe the
like
shaky old man thing is okay on a
I just
video.
felt
I
like
don't know.
the other tool videos that you did, right? I really felt like you were telling us about the tool and what it did. Whereas tonight, I didn't feel like you really got directly to the. You were like, "I'm gonna drill and I'm gonna put a clico," and it's like, well, why would I want to do that?
And yours was better. You hit the high points better, and you did it in less time.
But your video, your second video, your video answered my
You
question.
know what happened? Like your video influenced my video
Okay.
because when you did that, I went, "Oh, yeah, I gotta cover that better." And
I still think
so,
you should say this is a. Oh, I don't even remember what I said in my video, but I don't want to rewatch it while these people are trying to
yeah.
be
So anyway,
entertained.
well, if I have a question, well,
Hey,
ask
guns
the
and gears.
question. Ask the question. Ask the question. And and then uh, is Uncle Tony bald? No, I don't think so. He always wears a hat, but I've seen him with the hat off. I don't recall him being bald. Uh,
Not to our knowledge.
Uncle Tony.
Do
The
you
other
know
thing
who
is,
is bald?
well, wait a minute. I was going to say something about where. Hold that thought
That's okay.
about who's bald. The people see Uncle Tony rolling these cigarettes, and I don't like the smell of cigarettes. The factory made cigarettes really stink. I just really strongly dislike them. And he put some kind of pipe tobacco in those, and he rolls them, and it's not so bothersome. And but a lot of people watching him thinks he's rolling a joint, and he's not. The guy doesn't drink. He doesn't. I've seen him drink like I've known him for like close to 5 years. And in the 5 years, I've seen him drink one craft beer that he was drinking with dinner. And I don't think he finished it. The guy's not a drinker. He doesn't do any kind of drugs, doesn't smoke weed or anything like that. He's just, it's pipe tobacco and a cigarette.
I heard he's a nitromethane addict.
Nitromethane, yeah, but I don't think he even likes that anymore. He did that for a lot of years. He's a knowledgeable character, and he's actually a pretty good guy. I'm he came out on the highway one night. I called him because I got stuck in I was stuck in my Mazda with a
You told me your
blowout
story a
tire.
lot of
Yeah, but
times.
it was it was my stupidity. I had one of those space saver spares that had like this much air in it. He followed me to get air in it. It was pretty good. Good guy. Given us a lot of stuff over
He
the years.
shouted us out several times. He helped us get that Valiant and get a good start on it.
Yep.
Gave us all the parts we needed to put it together. But you know who is bald?
Who is Bo?
Peg.
Oh, Peg. Are we supposed to talk about that?
Peg from Zip Ties and
Oh,
Buy Supplies.
don't. That's you already said too much.
No, he's not.
He's
Well,
not.
was he wearing a hat?
I don't know.
He was wearing a horse on his damn head. We did get to meet him. That was cool.
We
That
were
was
we
super
were
cool.
somewhere and we got to meet him. So don't say anymore because he doesn't want it.
He
That's
just didn't want us to show pictures of him.
yeah. So he's yeah.
He was
He's an interesting
he was
character.
just as funny in
He's
person.
an interesting character.
And he wasn't nearly as drunk.
Yeah, I'm not sure he drinks all as much as he
I think he
makes.
plays it up.
He
Yeah.
plays it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't detect any alcohol. Oh, somebody. Yeah, I have
He's an
hair.
old man. He's still got hair.
I've talked about that a little
He's
bit.
not even bald in the back. Show him the back. He's
Oh my! I got to get this cut. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow?
go get a haircut.
I'm going to get a haircut.
Oh,
I had enough of this mop. Um. Oh, that's my plan. I don't know. I should.
nothing wrong with being bald. Who
So
cares even if he was? What kind of weird
so
question is that?
my brother is a year and a couple months younger than me, and ever since he was in about he's like 16. He's like getting real thin on top and he's combing the hair over. Well, you can imagine now he's 69 years old. So he's got little hair along the side. And I got this big head of hair. But mine turned gray when I was like in my mid 40s. And then my mustache, same thing, turned gray. And then my father, he was 91 when he died. His hair was mostly dark. It had some gray in it, but he had a full head of hair that really hadn't turned all gray. So that's kind of interesting. And my grandfather on my mother's side of the family is just like my brother. No hair on top. He doesn't even have enough to comb over. He has a little fuzz on the side. So I guess my brother got my my mom's side of the family. I got my father's side of the family. I'm really happy I have hair on my head. If I take my hat off, yeah, and bowling ball. You know what? You could do, get a wig and sew it inside the hat. So you put the hat on, nice long hair. Then when you take the hat off, it'd be funny, you know? Kim's got garbage bag.
Always.
Well, she threw all the junk from inside that car that somebody had thrown in there. They use that this pickup for a trash can, and I didn't know that. So when I was walking by, I walked into the big pile of trash, and she's cleaning it up. Buick Smith, you're out. We're about out too. I think we're gonna go on here for another until she's finished cleaning up the trash there, and we're gonna hang it up because it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Kim, why don't you come on up here for a minute? So you're not down there while you're cleaning up trash, or you're not cleaning up trash while we're trying to sign off. So you got people leaving, you know.
All right, all right.
She's not gonna crawl around on the floor. Oh, you can see her. She's back there.
I'm working.
I know
I'm
you're working.
working.
Can you grab your mouse
Yeah.
and we can
Oh, we'll call it out.
we're
All right,
we're
guys.
gonna
'Cause yeah,
yeah, we're gonna say goodnight.
you guys are sweet to be here. Thank you so much for the help getting this Dakota going.
And
And we'll be here tomorrow as our tomorrow is our regular night in the studio. So we do the green screen. If you're not, you all know how we do that.
Dr. Go, I've seen your hair. You have long hair, and I heard the story behind it. Anybody that's here, got to go to Dr. Go's channel, watch the story on his hair. He tells the story. Okay, go ahead.
We go on at 7 Central Time on Tuesday nights.
Tomorrow night.
So we hope to see you there if you can be. And we probably will do some more shop lives this week too, because just been going over pretty well. It gives us incentive to get our butts in gear and get out here and do some stuff. We're making so much progress. We got so much to do.
Yeah,
So,
tomorrow night I'll be in the studio with picture show behind us and all that. So
so
we'll be clean tomorrow.
yeah. I'll get dressed. I'll put makeup on. I'll comb my hair
She
even.
put her contacts in because she
Yeah.
doesn't have to worry about like shreds hitting her face, and
So
since she have her contacts in.
thanks
So.
everyone. We